Hey everyone, welcome to the Nintendo Prime Podcast, Season 2, Episode 45. Boy, do we have a jam-packed show for you guys this week because Nintendo dropped the goods. Well, to be fair, the entire entertainment industry has been kind of dropping the goods. Things we won't be talking about today, there's going to be a Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer popping off in December that, potentially, we can't say, we can't rule it out for Switch 2 at some point because we did get the GTA trilogy remaster, which we just want to pretend that doesn't exist. But hey, we did get it technically. So who knows? That's probably going to be one of the most watched video game trailers of all time, just based on how much traction it's getting online. There was other movies and stuff leaked, some Shrek 5 stuff, a bunch of crazy things happening all around. But we're focusing on Nintendo because this is the Nintendo Prime Podcast, and we happen to get our own surprise, crazy announcement from a financial briefing where Nintendo typically doesn't announce jack shit. But they decided, you know what? Because we're showing off some Mario movie revenue today, hey, investors, be happy. We have another movie coming. So we're going to be talking about that. But before we do, we got to go around the room and go, what have you been playing lately? That's what we do. Introduce ourselves to that whole jazz. Let's first go over to the hype master himself. Live, fast, eat my...
Live fast.
How's it going, HMK? What do you got going on? What have you been playing? Who the hell are you? I don't even know who you are.
Yo, I've been good. Thank you so much for having me back and whatnot. I'm excited for everything we're going to be talking about. I've been playing a lot of Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Spider-Man 2. I've been playing a lot of Genshin Impact. The Fontaine quests are like getting really, really good. And Farina just dropped. If anyone who plays, you know what I'm talking about. And I've still been playing a lot of Tears of the Kingdom. I'm trying to 100% the game. And I'm like, I'm getting there. I am getting there. I'm only missing Korok Seeds, which is probably going to take me a while, and the rest of the boss medals, and I'm done. DLC, Nintendo, just Master Mode for free. Just Master Mode. Just Master Mode.
I feel like they should just, maybe they'll do that next year. Just drop a little free Master Mode update.
Yeah.
They did it with Odyssey, right? They gave us that whole Luigi side mode thing. So I could see them doing
the balloon Luigi balloon.
Yeah. So I can see them doing a free update next year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. You know what? Let's go right next to you, Nick with no K. I haven't talked to you in forever either, man.
Yeah, it's been a while, and I feel so bad because you've asked a couple of times, and I've had to say no.
You drop out today. We had 3 separate people tell me to fuck off. I'm just
wow.
Oh wait, I thought it was a third.
No. 2 of them rescheduled, and 1 of them is sick. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it's
I'm
understandable.
just sick of you.
You know what? God damn it. He's just trying to fill in because Jake Randall couldn't make it today. So
Someone else has
to remind people that we don't keep it clean around here.
We're also talking about the Zelda movie, and like movies are my thing. So I couldn't miss the Zelda movie.
Yeah,
but
that's why I was like, I gotta reach out. I know he's gonna really want to be here, but can he be here?
I made it work. In terms of what I've been playing a lot of Mario Wonder and Fortnite. That's about it. That's all I've had time to do.
You know, I actually
gotta get in that
Fortnite,
OG season
earlier today. Yeah.
Dude, why? Okay, so they brought back the original map and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's cool.
Is that just what everyone's all hyped about?
Bro, we have nostalgia for Fortnite, which came out.
It's like all the original stuff, all the original guns, the map, the whole 9 yards. It's so
to
good.
put into perspective, like Fortnite has evolved so much as a game that they've added all these intricate weapons, abilities, and whatnot to the point it's got pretty wild. Now, to strip a lot of that off, but still retain some of the things that you've gained throughout Fortnite to go back to OG season is like that. It's really interesting, and the guns are very, very unbalanced, which makes it really fun. So
they announced that there was like 44 million peak or whatever it had, which is the highest.
A lot of people came back for this.
It was the highest peak in Fortnite history, and I'm just sitting there like, damn. One, that tells you you've been fucking up because people are nostalgic for the original. 2, hey, now that you got them back, try not to fuck it up again.
I know they said this is like a limited time.
Yeah, there's no way now.
As soon as I saw that 44 million, I was like, nah, it's gonna be some like side mode, or they're gonna rework whatever they were planning and keep the old map. Like they're not gonna throw that all away.
Lose half our user base again. Yeah. No big
but
deal.
It's a temporary thing. Like I played it today, just to kind of see it. Like I'm not gonna get back into playing Fortnite like, a couple hours every day. Like, that's not gonna happen.
I play a couple hours every night. Shit.
It's just
I play whenever I have free time.
I like the OG Fortnite. Like season 1 was great. So I'll maybe I'll play a little bit over this weekend. We'll see. Eric, what have you been playing lately, bud?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I got
That's
through
the only game.
All that matters.
That is the only game. Got through my last temple.
The fifth one?
No, I'm sorry. The 4.
I was gonna say
ones. Yeah.
there's a fifth one.
Yes, I know.
I know you know about it,
Yes, I
but
know about it.
you don't know about it
Yes,
if you
yes.
don't pay attention.
Yes. So I
Yeesh.
got to the 4 regional ones.
Okay.
now. Just finished up the water one. And then I've gone through and just beat oh my gosh, Master Koga.
Master
Jesus.
Koga thing.
Yep,
Yeah.
just did that. And then now I'm working my way to the Yiga hideout. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Which of the 4 regional dungeons, which one's your favorite and why?
Man, the Rito one, I mean the air, thunder, lightning, whatever the hell it is. That one's a lot of fun because I mean it's just a really cool like aesthetics to it. And the final boss is really freaking cool too. So I think that one is my
And the
favorite one.
music.
Yeah.
The music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the music.
Oh,
They have
the
to play
music.
that at the Game Awards. That specific track, the
I
Caldera
know,
track.
I know
100%.
you're going to play the Tears of the Kingdom theme song, which also is really good.
Mm.
But I mean, dude, if you know, you play Caldera. You just
Yeah.
you just do it. But
Yeah, the water one was actually surprisingly easy.
well, yeah. It was
So-
kind of a joke. I was actually really disappointed when I got to the final boss fight, and I was like, really? This is it?
Yeah, like I didn't like you know what's funny? I love going there and the aesthetic, and
Yeah, I love
I
the
thought the
way
dungeon was
the
nice too, but that
floating
final
with
boss
the
Muxrock, and I'm like,
Yeah.
It was stupidly easy. And I don't know. I mean, all of them can be because you could just cheese everything for the most part, but if you're not trying to cheese it, it's still just easy. It's whatever.
I made a vehicle that can kill the Muktarok.
Nice.
Like you
like
just
a bunch
extend out
of
hydrants and
yeah,
then there's
like
lasers. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I need to get back into Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't played it in so long.
He's just like, I haven't been playing. What the hell? I got to get back into it. Yeah, you got too much Fortnite going on. Come on, man.
I was trying to finish like all the shrines and stuff before Mario Wonder came out,
Failed.
and then I didn't. And I got too caught up in like my editing work and stuff, and I never got it done.
Happens. Andres, what have you been playing lately?
Well, I played
Fortnite.
Fortnite earlier today, like
Yeah,
right
you
before the
mentioned that,
show, which is neat. Still playing. Actually, I was playing
You
Mario
played
Wonder
Switch, right?
when he went live.
You,
What?
you played it on Switch, Fortnite, or do you play
I
it?
thought you were asking if I played Mario Wonder.
I know. I'm
on
asking if you played Fortnite
I've-
on Switch.
No,
You played it on something else.
PlayStation.
PlayStation. There you
yes, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Like I used to play Fortnite and Switch. I'm like, that's
go. No. See, Fortnite on Switch. The funny thing about it is you're paired with mobile gamers, and you just fucking wreck them.
Mhm.
It's just hilarious. I suck, and I will go ahead and just get first place like every fucking time because they're trying to do little tap touch controls, and I'm like, you're fucking dead. You're
Yeah.
dead.
Well, the other thing though is that if you don't play that much in a season, you're gonna come in as level 1, and you're gonna play against other level 1s. So
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna
Yeah,
play a lot
the
of bots and
Elo,
it's gonna be
low
easier.
Elo. Mm.
Yeah. I mean, but I like that though.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're really good. It builds up your confidence.
Well,
and then you start shooting at real people, and then you kill them accidentally. Like, oh.
Oh yeah. Well, when you move on from the bots, it is a
So
really.
what happens for me though is that every time I kill someone, I'm like, oh, that was a bot. Oh, that was a bot. Like I assume every time I get a kill,
Every
it's a
time
bot.
everyone's a bot.
Yeah. Oh, I won 3 victory rounds in a row. They were all bots. You got to get to level 100 before you face the real competition.
Well, the top players, yeah, a lot of them.
I don't know. I almost never play enough to get to level 100. Now definitely not. Maybe like years back, there was a couple of seasons where I got close.
Nice. All right, so you played a little Fortnite, you played a little Mario Wonder. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
No, but I'm almost done binge watching Big Bang Theory, and then I'm gonna go back to One Piece.
Heck yeah.
Then you go back
Yeah.
and do what?
Then I'm gonna go back to One Piece. So like I was getting through One Piece, I got past the Fishman arc, not the Arlong arc, like the Fishman Island, like the past the time skip. Finished that part, And then for whatever reason, I decided I wanted to watch Suits. So I did that. But I also started watching Big Bang Theory, and I'm like finishing that up. I'm in season 12. It's funny because I just like passed the point in Big Bang Theory where they started playing Fortnite. Because I guess season 12 came out around the time Fortnite came out, because they always try to put something that's like trendy
Modern.
in like the nerd scene or whatever. So yeah, I'm coming back to One Piece soon though. I miss it.
I miss you.
Homie.
I miss you, One Piece.
I've rewatched the series several times. Like, I don't know, it just feels good to watch One Piece. You watch an episode or two, go to bed. Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams.
I mean, if you love a series, I would do that for what did I used to do that for? I guess it wasn't that important. Never mind.
Not that good.
I guess it wasn't that good,
Was it an anime or was it something else?
No, it was an anime.
I'm just gonna start guessing random animes. Was it old or new? Well, okay, what decade? 90s, 80s, 21st?
Like old enough.
Inuyasha?
No.
No. Full Metal?
No.
Yeah.
It'll come back to me later. I'm just gonna randomly blurt an anime. I'm like, oh, it's that.
Yeah.
Let's wait for that.
There you go. So but still playing a little Mario Wonder. I don't have all of the challenge stuff beat yet, so been playing a little bit of that. Played some Spider-Man 2. I got a few more hours into that. I'm having a good time. I haven't ran into any bugs yet, so people warn me about some bugs, and I'm like, I haven't had anything happen yet, but it's not like I put 20 plus hours into it like a lot of other people have to run into more stuff yet. So we'll see. I'm having a really good time with Spider-Man 2, by the way. It's a great game. I thought it would be. I enjoyed Spider-Man and I enjoyed Miles Morales, so it's not like I didn't think I was going to enjoy this one. So I'm having a good time. And then I actually also played a little bit of Tears of the Kingdom this week. I'm a long ways away from 100%ing, but that's because I decided that I am just going to play this one save file for years. So I'm just going to play here and there, do a few shrines, do a few of this, a little that, a couple side quests. I'm good. I'm going to set it down because I just think it might be 5 years till I get a new Zelda game. So I need to make sure that I'm always experiencing something new in Tears of the Kingdom for the next 5 years. So I've already beaten like the main story. So I already know that. Like, I wasn't going to wait on that. But yeah, dude, I have so much fun in the game that like, I probably won't build. Look, I still have yet to build a mech, and I probably won't even build one for like 3 years, just because I'm saving things for me to do later. It feels so weird because I'm used to like it's Zelda, dude. You gotta get everything now. Look at all these other games I'm gonna play. Yeah, but dude, I don't replay games, so I'm gonna make this Zelda experience last. For
I keep forgetting that. I was like, oh, we could just like marathon through all the Zeldas.
Yeah, but anyways. No, I won't. I'll say that I'll never marathon through them. I have to have a reason.
All right, so
the reason would be because I want to. The reason would have to be something like
hypothetical. Let's say we do get an Ocarina of Time remake in the next 2 years. Would you play that?
Stop.
Yeah, a remake, yes.
Stop. Don't give me hope.
A remake, I would. Not a remaster, unless there's new content, and even then. But
if they throw the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time on the Switch, I'm in a heartbeat. I'm 100% in that all over again. Easy.
Oh, absolutely.
Easy.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time 3D was pretty good.
I'd probably do a live stream, and then they would tell me that you need to now beat this game 100%. And I'm like, God damn it! Someone will drop like $100 super chat, and they'll feel obligated. I'm like, you know what?
The heart to 100%.
You're gonna twist my arm. I guess I'll beat a game I've beaten like a dozen times. All right, fine.
Man.
Anyways, yeah, I replayed it a lot in the early 2000s. I was writing walkthroughs for it back then, so I had to do a lot of playthroughs to get all this shit down. Anyways, all right, well, we can get to our topics because, hey, it's appropriate that we were just briefly talking about Zelda because, hello, Nintendo dropping bombs. Oh, yeah, here's some sales data. Oh, aren't we so wonderful? By the way, we're doing a live-action Zelda movie with Sony Pictures with producer Shigeru Miyamoto and Avi Arad. For those who don't know who he is, he's pretty popular and well-known, but he's done a lot of Spider-Man movies. Been involved in like all of them, basically.
The Spider-Man movies are good. So,
And we're talking like the Tobey Maguire ones, the Amazing Spider-Man, even the more recent Marvel ones.
They're all good. I can't think of a bad Spider-Man movie. Personally,
Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, he was part of that. And
apparently Nick disagrees. He must hate Spider-Man.
Like, oh, I'm out.
He's out of here.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
no,
actually a Morbius fan.
Somebody started banging on my door.
Oh.
Anyways,
I am a Morbius fan though.
Yeah, you did Morbius.
Ironically,
wait, really?
Ironically.
Oh,
no, ironically, not literally. No.
I was like, excuse me? Oh,
anyway,
man.
He's done a lot of X-Men movies. He did the Uncharted movie, yada yada. So not everything's been great, but a lot of stuff's been. He's just really well known. He's done a lot of big stuff.
Yeah.
It's also being directed by Wes Ball. He's actually best known for his work on the Maze Runner movies, but he has a really big movie coming out soon in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes that he's the director of. Obviously, we don't know if that's a good or yet not because it's not out. I mean, Planet of the Apes movies have been pretty good, but this is his first one. So, he's kind of young. He's getting his directing chops and he could be one of those next big name directors. When you think of the Peter Jacksons and all,
especially after the Zelda movie, want to become
if the Zelda movie blows up and becomes like the new Lord of the Rings and gets
yep, pretty much.
And if that happens, he's going to be the big name behind it because the director always gets a shit ton of credit because they do way more than the producers do. So it's gonna be pretty crazy.
Which we're gonna talk about that later because man, I've been seeing some takes that just like get me boiled, bro. But continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just doing the quick summary here. There's no actor information at this time. Of course, there's not. The SAG stuff is still on strike. So
actually, the strikes just ended today.
It ended today.
The strike ends tomorrow or like 12:01 p.m. Pacific time.
You mean they came to an agreement today?
Yeah. So they did a 3-year agreement preliminary. Yep.
There we go. Oh, okay. But it's not finalized till tomorrow. Oh, got it. All right. So, hey, look, it's going to end soon. So they could potentially announce actors anytime after tomorrow, whenever they randomly feel like it. Now I'm starting to suspect the next Nintendo Direct is probably going to drop some actors.
I honestly don't think it's going to be that soon. I honestly think we're going to have to wait a while before we get more information on this.
What, 2 years before the Mario movie came out, they told us?
Yeah, like we waited a while before anything could materialize for the Mario movie.
I'm going to guess, though, that we're not going to have to wait as long. I'm not saying it's happening like next year or something. I think we still have a couple of years before this comes out, but I don't think the wait's going to be as long as the Mario movie.
Announcement, they just entered production. But then the tweets said they've been working on it for years, but that could have just been pitches and ideas.
So from what I gathered, Miyamoto said he's been working on the script for years. Like he's been working on the story scripts, stuff like that. Like the idea of it, he's been working on it for years. But then we have to the strike just ended. They probably weren't even scouting actors. Actors have to go through the process of auditioning for the role and stuff. I feel there's going to be a lot of process still left to do before
probably at least 3 years.
I think the movie will come out in 2026, honestly. The 40th anniversary of Zelda.
So we'll see because Nintendo didn't announce this, but Deadline and other places are reporting who the lead writer for this is.
Derek Connolly.
If you guys don't know who he is, because not everyone pays attention to writers, he did Kong Skull Island. He's done all the Jurassic World movies. He did Star Wars: Rise of the Skywalker. He also wrote Detective Pikachu.
I gotta interject on that before people start blowing that out of proportion because Rise of the Skywalker was a bad movie, but the only reason why he has a writing credit because of that is because that's back when Colin Trevorrow was directing and writing the movie, who he often collaborates with, especially when it comes to the Jurassic World movies, and that's why he still retains the writing credits. But that project is not the same as what they were putting together after J.J. Abrams put there. So before, because we were freaking out about that on Twitter, they're like, "Oh, he did Rise of Skywalker." I'm like, "No, he was originally one of the co-writers who still retains one of the credits of it when Trevorrow was involved." But
here's also my thing. People always focus on the worst thing they've done. Are we just ignoring all his other writing credits?
Exactly.
Pikachu not good? Or the Jurassic World movie widely considered pretty good? Not like the greatest.
Well, the third one was
the first one was really good, obviously.
The first two. I actually love the first two.
But he was involved in writing those. It's not that he's got perfect, but look at even the biggest name directors. They got dud movies. You don't judge them based on their worst. You judge them based on what their averages are. So you don't go to the best, you don't go to the worst. What's an average movie from him? It's pretty good. So
this is my take. I personally I strongly disagree with anyone who's thinks this is gonna be bad because Nintendo has given us no indication that will be the case. Maybe you're gonna be extremely picky about it, but the Mario Bros movie is pretty much universally accepted unless you have something up your your butt. But like otherwise, like it's considered to be a really good movie for what they wanted it to be. And the problem, it's not a problem now, but the problem with having Nintendo movies and why we haven't had one for decades outside of the Mario Bros. Movies, because Nintendo's extremely protective of their IP. Nintendo would not have greenlit this project if they didn't have full confidence that it was not going to represent the IP well. So the fact that they're announcing this, all that tells me, and it should tell like everyone really, is that they believe this is going to be good, and if they believe it's going to be good, what?
I think they just know what they're doing.
Exactly.
For a long time.
Exactly.
This could be a PG-13, which I hope it is. And it could be literally like the next. They could turn this into a trilogy. It could be a Lord of the Rings type epic adventure. Who the hell? I'm not saying it's going to be like Lord of the Rings. It's not.
Well,
Zelda.
well, the fact that they decided to go live action though,
yeah, that's what
because they could have gone animated.
Yes,
they
and
decided not to.
People are mad they didn't go
Hold
animated.
on. I'm one of those people who is mad they didn't go animated. I think animated would have been better. But as I was thinking about it today, with live action, they can go a more serious route with like a la Lord of the Rings, but it also leaves the door open for if they wanted to do something animated in like the Wind Waker or Toon Link style, you could have both, kind of like how you do with the games. Like Toon Link looks very different from the rest of the links.
You could still do a Zelda anime down the road for sure.
Yeah. And the craziest thing about Zelda is that unlike Mario, like we've seen how it turned out. I still love that movie, by the way. The original Super Mario Bros. Movie, I love that movie. But we've seen how that turns out when you take a concept like Mario. It's just like, all right, let's turn it to live action. Let's see what happens. Okay, but Zelda has much more potential to be in that space of live action and be on top of, operatic epic type, movie, especially if they want to go a more like fantasy or even dark fantasy approach, considering the people attached and the production company and the director and writer attached. They're known for having these fantastical spaces in terms of putting out the movies like Jurassic World.
They can put out great special effects fitting into
exactly. Maze Runner is like, you kind of have the visionary set of
they can give us giant monster bosses, which is like one of the hallmarks of Legend of Zelda. Yeah.
Right. And
it's going to be amazing.
It's so funny how people
cinematic shots in this are going to just blow my mind.
All right, check this out.
20 years ago with Lord of the Rings. Think about what they can do today.
Think about this. You know The Hobbit? Think what they did with Smaug. Imagine a dragon like that in Zelda.
So what I was saying is that like a lot of people were weirded out at first. Like at first I was weirded out only because of the idea of Nintendo and Sony working together. But then I'm like, Sony Pictures Entertainment, they're known for having like the vision of these large scale like set pieces and what they're able to accomplish with their own production company, specifically Arid Productions and whatnot. And Nintendo's still having more than a 50% financial stake in this movie. And Mimo has already confirmed that they're going to be heavily involved in the production process, just like how they were Super Mario Bros. So a lot of people are worried, and I understand being cautious, cautiously optimistic. But a lot of people are already saying like, "Oh, this is going to be shit off the bat." I'm like, I was one of those people that would look at the people attached to a certain movie, specifically Sonic 1 and the Super Mario Bros. Movie. But then after those movies came out, I'm like, these movies were actually pretty fire. So like, it made me a believer. It's like, okay, listen, yeah, the track records do speak for themselves, but at the same time, maybe they know what they're doing when they have these other companies constantly looking over their shoulders, like, hey, not that, okay, that. So I'm chilling with this.
So something that's interesting that maybe we're not considering is that there have been other attempts at Zelda movies, Metroid movies, and Nintendo hasn't done them because it didn't believe that they would be good enough. I'll go back to what I said earlier. They greenlit this one and announced it for a reason. I don't think we have anything to be worried about. And for those that are kind of bringing up the Mario Bros. Movie saying it's bad, it's not bad. It's like one of the most successful movies, and it's like what, the second most successful animated movie of all time.
Yeah, if you don't count the Lion King. Yeah,
like it's disputed when you cut the Lion King or not. But
so
top three,
highest grossing movie of this year.
Yeah. So I guess the problem with the Mario Bros. Movie is that people.
Wait, I thought Barbie knocked it out yet.
Barbie knocked it out, but then they put the Mario movie in theaters again for
Oh, they did
National
the
Cinema Day, and it took back over. So
Oh,
Mario
that's
movie
petty.
back on top.
That's petty. Oh,
wow.
you love to see it.
That is super interesting. Yeah.
You love to see it.
I just want to address a point though. Like for the people that I mentioned, like the Mario Bros movie, and that they had like bad critical reviews, the critics don't matter in this case. It wasn't meant to be it wasn't meant to appeal to that audience. It was a family-friendly movie.
Life lesson drama all the time. You can't just have fun with movies anymore.
Exactly. People are honestly like, if the movie's not Oscar bait, then it's bad by default. And I'm like, bro,
you read reviews, all comedies are trash. Comedies aren't always meant to be a lesson. Sometimes it's meant to make you fucking laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Did you laugh? Did you laugh a lot? Then it was probably pretty good.
I'd also like to bring up a recent live action video game adaptation, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Critics didn't like it, but the fans really loved it. So
I'm gonna be real with you though. I like Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm a fan of the series. I thought the movie was super mid.
I'm not saying it's the greatest movie of all time. I'm just saying it wasn't bad. It could have been bad.
I watched that movie the other night. As somebody who has no experience with Five Nights at Freddy's, I can see why people don't think it's very good. I think it's very good if you're into the series, like really into it. Otherwise, it was just okay.
On that note, as a big One Piece fan, I mentioned earlier, a lot of people praise the One Piece live action. I thought it was a little bit better than mid, but like not.
I loved it. I honestly loved it.
I'm about to.
I like it as a One Piece fan, but whatever. What were you saying, Nate?
I was about to reach through the screen and slap the shit out of you. That live action was awesome.
Yeah,
dude, that was great.
Like, I know enough about One Piece, but I wouldn't call myself a fan. After seeing that live action, I'm like, bro, I need to read these now. Like,
so I mean, I guess I just hold it to a higher standard.
A higher standard, yeah. That's fair because
but the thing is, I'm excited there's a season 2. I'm gonna watch season 2, so I'm not saying it's bad.
It was good.
I'm just saying that it's not like I don't consider it like like something that's like a masterpiece or anything like that. Like,
well, the big thing to remember is that One Piece has been going on a long time, right? And it seems like it's going to go on for a long time more. And I think it's hard for people who have never gotten into it to get into it today because it just seems so overwhelming with how many seasons.
And this is a great way to get a lot of people into it for sure.
And so like I always viewed it from the light of, hey, this is like a fresh start, and this is introducing brand new people to One Piece for the first time. And I thought it was great. And that's the way I viewed it as, hey, we're rebooting, restarting, a fresh start, and reintroducing people to this series. I think that's why I think I was not as harsh on it, because I'm like, I don't expect this to be like the anime. It's not meant to be that. It can't be that.
No, I'm okay with it being its own thing. With the One Piece live action, my biggest problem with it, and again, these are things I think can be fixed. Like with season 2, I think they'll probably do a better job. Like I just think they didn't do a great job with the flashbacks. There was a little bit of a mismatch with the child actors they picked. It didn't make sense. Like Sanji was starved for 40 days, yet he was still a fat kid at the end of those.
Yeah, that one was a little weird. Yeah,
like that doesn't make any sense.
Inconsistencies. I mean,
but it's also tough to do. Like, how are you going to starve a kid, right? Like,
and they were just doing the flashbacks to help, just give you context for the characters in modern.
The thing is, the flashbacks in the actual anime are real heart wrenchers. Like, they're really powerful scenes. They try to replicate that. Again, this is a video game podcast. One Piece is an anime. It was all right.
One Piece Warriors, baby. Hey, it's one of the better selling ones. That and the Zelda. Those are the two best selling.
I did think
speaking of Zelda.
Speaking of Zelda. Yeah. So I think setting aside concerns, because look, after watching the whole world trash Mario and then watching how it turned out, we don't even know what this thing looks like. We haven't even seen a trailer. There's nothing to judge it on other than, these people have never done a giant Lord of the Rings epic. Okay, and neither had Peter Jackson before he did it. Let's just chill out and let it happen.
Have you guys seen the Peter Jackson's first movie? Wait. You guys need to watch this movie. No. Is it The Feebles?
Feebles?
Wait. Bro, where's your filmography at? All right, filmography.
Doesn't exist. You gotta dig through it. But he's got a lot under him.
I am bro, I am not gaslighting myself.
It really feels like you are at the moment.
I Meet the Feebles. There you go. Yes, this is one. Oh my, it's free on YouTube. Y'all need to watch this movie. This is a movie written and directed and produced by Peter Jackson long before he touched Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
This movie's honestly insane. It's so weird. You guys need to watch
In
it.
a good way.
It's called Meet the Feebles. There you go.
Yeah, Meet the Feebles. I'll get that Googled up over here. All right. So obviously, setting aside any possible concerns, and we're gonna get to like potential people we might want to be casted as specific characters that should be shoo-ins for the movie, like Link, Zelda, probably
Tom
Ganon.
Holland is Link.
Yes, Tom Holland is Link.
Before we dive into that, what kind of direction would you guys like to see the movie go? Would you like to see it more like a Lord of the Rings original epic fantasy? Would you like to see it be based on any of the games?
I think the best way for this story to go, in my opinion, is to do an original story that is set in the world of Zelda, because then you're not having to worry about people being like, well, you didn't adapt this correctly, or you didn't adapt this correctly from Twilight Princess or Ocarina of Time. And if you look at some of the other successful video game movies we've gotten recently, like the Mario movie, Sonic, some of that other stuff, they pull inspiration and they pull things from the games, but they're not a direct one-to-one translation of the games into the movie, because it just doesn't work. You play video games, you watch a movie. Those are two very different ways.
So in other words, this is a new timeline.
Don't say that. Don't do
this
that.
is the fourth.
Oh my god!
All right. Well, okay. Let me
rephrase
rephrase for your help.
To come up.
Continuity. It's going to be a different continuity.
It's part of the Zelda multiverse.
The Zelda's already multiverse. Zelda
cinematic universe. It'll be its own thing. That's
so,
what happen.
Like I like how Nick brought up that point, and I feel that for Zelda, even despite that, it's still gonna have that ticking time bomb working against it. Because even when we look at recent video game movies that have been good, and yes, they have been good. You have Sonic, Mario. Even if you want to count Five Nights at Freddy's, like Sonic is Sonic. Mario is Mario, Peach is Peach, Bowser's Bowser, Luigi's Luigi. That story is like been done. It could be done again. Where it's like, saving the Mushroom Kingdom from Bowser, who wants to steal away Peach. Five Nights at Freddy's, that story. We know that story. If you play the game, you know the story. But for Zelda, I feel that's like the biggest thing working against it, because no matter how this movie gets adapted, even if it's like an original story with a Zelda setting, if it pulls inspiration from Ocarina of Time in certain facets, or A Link to the Past, or Twilight Princess, or Minish Cap, or et cetera, or if they go down a route where they loosely adapt one specific game to set up like a trilogy, kind of like how Disney did with Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. They adapted Sands of Time, but it borrowed Warrior Within and Two Thrones with that movie. If they were to do that, like there's no feasible way or outcome that the Zelda movie is going to come out and is going to please everyone in terms of the Zelda fandom alone. I'm sure like casual people that come see this movie, they're going to be like, hey, this is epic. Oh, this is cool. Awesome. But there's always going to be that. It's like, they should have adapted Ocarina of Time. They should have adapted Twilight Princess.
Praise. Yeah,
I mean, Mario, like that was like,
but there's still people that hate on that. I'm just
saying, don't matter. They're not fans. They're not Mario fans. They're not real.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, the Zelda fan base is very hard to please.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tears of the Kingdom is being torn apart, even though like it probably should win.
It's game of the year, man. I don't know what these people are talking about.
But yet you go on the internet and would have you think that Tears of the Kingdom's garbage. But
that's why those two people, I curate my social media, man.
That's just a very loud vocal minority.
Yes.
Yeah.
I went like this, but I meant to go like there. Like, yes.
So let me ask you guys a question.
Mm-hmm.
What link do they use? Do they use a link that's obviously? So I agree that it probably won't be exactly based off one game, but there will be inspiration. So what kind of direction of link do they go? Do they go Green Tunic Link?
Yes.
Or do they go Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom style Link?
Like, I get those games have sold the most, and obviously they came out most recently, so I guess
collectively those two are almost more than the entire
series
of Zelda sales. It's like really close.
But I rather them go back to like I would understand if they would do that route, but I like for the longest time, for like the most time of recognition, Link has always done the green hat, all that stuff. And what you were putting down earlier, I honestly would want them, how would they tackle this movie? I would want them to take the most inspiration specifically from Ocarina of Time, because I feel that that's the easiest one they could tackle in terms of like a feasible movie script that we can see like play out in a game in real time. A lot of people could argue Twilight Princess because like it's more cinematic, which is true, but I feel like Ocarina of Time is that story that's like literally Ocarina of Time, Tale as Old as Time, the hero of time, and
I think it's interesting you bring that up because I think like for like 100% certain Nintendo's going to have some lineup of Zelda games to semi coincide with the movie. Not like, within a
absolutely.
month, but it's the same way we have Mario Bros. Wonder coming out this year and the Mario Bros. Movie came out earlier this year. I bet there's going to be a Zelda game.
In their pocket, yes.
I've been talking about Ocarina of Time remake recently on my channel for a reason. I think it does make sense.
Man, like,
and maybe it's not Ocarina of Time. Maybe it's Twilight Princess or something, but I believe there will be some kind of redone Zelda game before we get the next major one. And maybe the movie takes 5 years, but I think it's going to come out, maybe 3 years, right?
Live action movies, if the production is pretty stable, have a decent like turnover. 2 to 3 year turnaround time. Yeah. So I would say 2026 isn't too unrealistic.
And if that's the case, that's too soon for the next new Zelda game, right?
Oh,
but
absolutely.
It's not too soon for an epic Zelda remake.
Also, to be fair, we say, it's too soon for the new epic Zelda game. Doesn't mean it's not too soon to announce the new epic Zelda game.
No, yeah, that will be right the time to announce it, but they can do both.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't release it. They could do both, and that would be like, hey, watch the movie, maybe play this remake. Here's the next big Zelda game. Just kind of keep the train going.
Because you look at the Mario thing, it's not just Mario Bros. Wonder. There's a whole bunch of other stuff coming out right now.
It sets itself up for a sequel. Then all of a sudden, that sequel's coming out around the same time. The new game's coming out. Oh, yeah, dude. There you can.
If they adapt Ocarina of Time, that movie can have the most heart-wrenching ending ever for like Link and Zelda saying goodbye. And then imagine the end credit scene, like at the very end of the movie, when like the credits start rolling, you see a dim room in the back. You hear like someone shuffling. There's a box. Someone opens the box, and then Majora's Mask is right there, and that's how the movie ends. I'm telling you. Yeah, please, man. Just start Ocarina of Time, then adapt Majora's Mask, and then adapt Twilight Princess. Easy.
See, I lean into the more original story because I think
they're going to
want to keep all of the same people moving forward. If they really want to build a franchise out of it, they're going to want to keep the same actors.
Yeah, like they're not going to
make it a trilogy.
New Zelda.
It would be tough to kind of do the Zelda cycle with a movie series because
the people get attached to those characters and then you recast them for the next one.
The thing with Zelda is like the reason I think they're going live action is one, it is a more serious franchise. It does have its comedic moments, but most people don't remember Zelda for the comedic moments. They remember the story, the plot lines, the gameplay. And so what's going to remember the movie? You're going to remember the acting. You're going to remember the story. You're going to remember the plots. And so they're going to build. This is why I think it's going to be original, because the biggest mistake I think a lot of video game adaptation movies make, especially when they do live action, is they try too much to emulate a completely different medium. And I get you're trying to be loyal. You're trying to put the nuances in, and you can have references. You can have this. You can have Easter eggs. But going in a completely original direction allows them to tell their own story, keep it going for as long as they want, for as many movies as they want. And it just enables them to build something new and fresh. I mean, if we think about it, that's exactly what they did with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, something new, something fresh. And look how well it worked. I think with the movie franchise, I mean, yeah, we could talk trilogies, we could talk just single movie, one-off, but if this is like huge and all of them are huge, this could be like not just a trilogy. It could be significantly more than that.
It's just going to be like a recurring like series.
Here's the thing that's like another thing that works against a movie of this type of nature, especially when you consider comparing it to other projects that got sequels or are getting sequels. Let's take once again Sonic and Super Mario into consideration. For the Sonic movie, the problem, Dr. Eggman, Sonic beats Eggman. I'll be back, Sonic. Mario, the problem. Bowser. Mario beats Bowser. I'll be back, Mario. Zelda doesn't really have that luxury because with a full like Ganon or Ganondorf, at the end of the game, that guy's got to go, right? So if we were to get an actor to like be attached to that character, like you guys said, in order to like, build up a franchise, a trilogy, a duology, quadrilogy, whatever, people are going to be attached to Ganon or Ganondorf, depending on who they decide to portray. But that guy's got to go by the end of the movie. And then, Zelda has multiple villains, but they're not known for having multiple villains that a lot of people know on the level of Ganon Ganondorf. There's Vati, there's Girahim, there's
with the movie franchise, they can do that. They can set something new up, especially since
I wouldn't like that though. I wouldn't like that. Like
the Zelda game doesn't have Ganondorf as the bad guy. Set the expectation for something different. Like
I mean, you can have Ganondorf in the first game. You can always revive Demise. Like they always have that in their back pocket.
Exactly, but when they do, it's a whole new cast of characters, and that goes against what you guys were saying earlier. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's the big.
I see what you're saying, right? Like I think whatever they do, right? Like there is going to be a little bit of a timeline to it. But that doesn't mean they can't reboot it after a while. So maybe they do a trilogy, right? Maybe it's not even announced as a trilogy. They make one, it does well. They do a second one, but it is contained the same cast. And then once that's done, maybe 5-10 years later, they announce another one. The same way they've done for Spider-Man and Batman. Like, there's been several iterations of those. Most of them are great. I feel like it could be similar.
And all those iterations focus on different baddies to help mix it up compared to prior runs of it.
We'll cross that bridge.
I can see Ganondorf being the one because he's the most well known, but like it could be a trilogy, and we don't really defeat him till the end. But he could have
a slow burn like that. Ooh,
a slow burn, but he's got underlings.
You trying to set up Thanos over here?
Or, for example, Zack could come into play, an underling that works for him. He could be like one of the primary guys that gets rid of in one of the movies. And then in another movie, it could be, let's say it's Girahim or something. Like I know that he was with Demise, but they can tell their own story and do their own thing and have their own. Like if you think about like in Lord of the Rings, right? It's Sauron. You don't really do anything about him till the end.
But he's been like such a big presence throughout those movies, though.
Yes, he would. That's what I'm saying. In the movies, Ganondorf can't do what he does in the games, where he's just not there, basically until the end in most of the games. So you'll have to have a presence, but there will be other aspects that work for him that are just super, super scary, and that maybe is what you deal with in the now. While we know there's a bigger picture to get to eventually.
I think that's interesting because think about this, right? Like, and just to have an example. Because Nick, I do agree with you. I don't think they would model an exact game, but just for the sake of discussion here, right? Let's say they were to model the story after Ocarina of Time, but they take Ocarina of Time and they make that into several movies. You can make the story lead up for one dungeon be an entire movie. Like and again, like just hear me out here, right? I'm not saying that that's exactly the model they'll follow, but each dungeon, right? Each village has its own threat, has its own story and characters, and that can be its own. If you could in theory flesh that out, and that could be part of a bigger overall narrative. And what if they were to go in a direction where it ends up being more like Harry Potter, where you have 7 movies?
It could be. Like, I think they have a plan. I think they know how many movies they want.
When you bring that up, I actually feel that idea of possibly breaking up the movie. If they were to adapt Ocarina of Time, if they broke it up into 3 movies, like the first movie, Child Link, and the movie literally ends with him pulling out the Master Sword, right? And then the first half of his adult life and the second half of adult life as the last 2 movies, I honestly would be keen with that. I will be.
It actually worked pretty well because there's 9 dungeons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the right division points for that. And then, like ending off the first movie in the trilogy with him pulling out the Master Sword will be a great ending to like, just like set up. And then we get obviously they're going to have to transition actors, but like it's going to be a younger Link. And then when he pulls out the Master Sword, the movie ends with him. You seeing like the new actor and then like, oh, that's the setup for part 2.
You know what's cool about that though, right? Like just in terms of like how movies are told, right? Like they are done in kind of 3 parts. There's like the opening act, the middle act, and the final act. So it's interesting that like if they were to do it in threes, like if a movie has kind of three major quests to combine to one, like it from that perspective, it works. Whoa.
A random
Easy.
What's up?
Guys,
Just came out of nowhere.
Continue your conversation, Andres.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I like the idea of three. I think in general that works for telling a good story. So
Yeah, the trilogy's always worked really well for movie stories. I really don't want this to be based on a video game. I think it's just opening up for so much criticism, like basing it on any of the video game stories.
well, I mean it's a good concern to have because it makes you wonder, like, how are they going to adapt this into the story? Because Zelda games are about going to dungeons and then getting the keys that you need to accomplish something, right? Like, so how do they handle but that mechanic is created for a game. So what do they do to tell a narrative that still feels Zelda?
Easy. That's easy.
All right.
What they can do is take the basic story of the Legend of Zelda, right? Put it into a format that is very, very open to the mainstream media. They have to explain what the Triforce is, explain Hyrule, and explain Zelda and Link. And so just telling a story that is kind of very generic, not going too much into the lore. And I'm pretty sure that at the beginning they'll probably do some kind of intro at the beginning of the explaining the Triforce and this and this and that. And if you look at Lord of the Rings, how they explain the beginning of the first movie, it's like they give you a little bit of narrative on how to they paint the picture for you. So when you go into the movie, it's like, oh, okay, so this happened. This is where we are in the story, and it's easy to follow. I think that's what they're gonna do. They're not gonna base it on any other game. Hopefully not at all. They're gonna do a brand new story, but with the same exact. Okay, there's a Triforce. There's Link. There's the
Specific elements. Yeah.
There's Hyrule.
Tingle.
No.
And I don't want to see Tingle. I want to see Beto.
Tingle as dating DeVito. Come on.
You get none. You get none. Goodbye. You lose. No
right,
Beetle, no Tingle, none of that.
We all agree Deku Tree's in it.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
that's Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's.
How about a great? Are we gonna get a great fairy?
Yes.
I don't know. You can't put too much into the movie. Like,
No. We have to get bad Impa, not old Impa, but bad Impa.
Dude, if we can get,
Are you talking like Age of Calamity Impa? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I think Impa is gonna be like Zelda's kind of like guardian or kind of like
confidant.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. It's not gonna be like an old lady or a young lady. It's gonna be like older than Zelda. Somebody that Zelda looks
maybe like a big cousin or sister or something.
Yeah, something like that.
You know, we were talking about how if it was a trilogy to end the first movie pulling the Master Sword like Ocarina of Time, what if they end the first movie and it's just a red balloon that floats up? Yeah,
Tingle, baby.
Tingle turn is the
What if Tingle's like the Jar Jar Binks of this trilogy?
Bro, I would hate that, man. Bro, you guys are trying to set up like, oh, Link is gonna have this party of like warriors, kind of like, you know, the quest, the Fellowship of the Ring, and then Tingle's gonna be added to the Fellowship.
That would be so cool.
Well, okay, I don't think Tingle should be part of it. I think Tingle would.
I will say this.
The Fellowship.
It's highly likely he's on a solo quest, but I do think that.
Oh, they might have a fairy.
I do think that like because this is a movie, and we have to remember in the context of a movie, we can't just have a Link running around saying nothing, just doing things.
Actually, you know,
he's gonna talk. Right. He's gonna talk.
There has to be a party. I think there will.
He's got to have a companion. He's got to have someone adventuring with him. And there could be a party.
Navi and Epona. There we go.
Goron
doesn't talk.
You know, and others.
Speaking of like having a group, do you think Zelda is gonna be more actively involved? Not saying she's not in the games. But like, is she going to travel with Link?
So I'm thinking of the Mario movie. Remember how like Peach became like a badass?
Yeah.
What if Zelda is actually the lead character and Link's a side character?
Then it wouldn't be the Legend of Zelda because the legend is told by other people.
But
so it can't be her.
The movie universe. This is not.
That's like what? That's the different.
No. So listen,
imagine I want Zelda isn't about the rings.
I want Zelda to be an important character. But basically, there's going to be three important characters. Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf. I think they all should be equally important.
But the way they're gonna go about it is that they're gonna. I feel like they're gonna take like bits and pieces of everything that we've seen so far, and kind of make one story with what we have so far. And you know, for example, let's say at the beginning they show bits and pieces of Link kind of sneaking into the kingdom and then meeting with Zelda as a kid, and they're just playing together. Zelda, what are you doing? Well, Link kind of runs away, and then they do that, and time passes by after they grow old, become friends or whatever. And then something happens there where Zelda finds out something in her past, and Link is there to protect her and goes into this adventure part, you know? So I feel like it's gonna be, you know, as Zelda fans, we want to see certain things, but I feel like they're gonna say, you know what? Mainstream media, how can we tell this story so that everyone can follow along? At the end of it, they want to buy the game. Because at the end,
I got a prediction.
Yeah.
I got a prediction. You ready? So a part of Link's quest is going to be to find Zelda early on. And he's going to run into a girl, a mysterious girl who's just kind of doing her own thing. And you're going to travel alongside her. She's going to be part of the party. And later into the story, it's going to be revealed
turns out to be Zelda.
She's going to be the missing princess. But she's going to be kind of like a tomboy, like super capable.
Like Aladdin?
Like a Tetra, really. Right? Tetra, you know, from Wind Waker, who ended up being the princess, but she also was pretty good at doing her own thing beforehand.
So I like that idea. I also was thinking about the idea of like Zelda being very capable, but then Link being like, this is something they could adapt, like, you know, take various things from various games. They adapt from Breath of the Wild a little bit, where Link is like, okay, they meet up, they do this setup, and then at a certain point in the movie, maybe like a fourth of the way into the movie, Link is like, you know, he tasks himself or is tasked by Impa, whoever, whatever, to be Zelda's guardian. But then Zelda is very capable on her own right. But then we're going to places that Zelda needs to go to in order to unlock the mystery of the Triforce before Ganondorf can. But then at like maybe 2/3 into the movie, Ganondorf's like, you, and then like, you know, Zelda gets snatched, and then like that sets up the final battle.
So what if we have a Triforce? What if they take the rings or whatever, like the like Legend, what is it, the Lord of the Rings, that kind of movie where they travel to find the ring, or even
The
Dragon
7
Ball,
Triforce shards.
even Dragon Ball, where the Dragon Ball split up, and they get the Triforce has split up. So basically 3 movies, we have to find each a piece of a Triforce in each movie.
7 There's 7 pieces. Like there's 7 rings. There's 7 Horcruxes.
Like not even Wind Waker, the original Zelda, bro. Like, you know, Zelda 1, Zelda 2. You know, it's like, oh, you're trying to piece together one part of the Triforce. Yeah. And then you find out there's 3. And then like, oh, and Ganondorf has one. Oh no. And then that sets up the next movie. Yeah.
Here's your trilogy. Here's your trilogy pitch. Okay. So at the beginning of the first movie, you have your like exposition dump where they're like, hey, this is the Triforce. Here's the stuff that happened. There was this really evil guy named Ganondorf. But then we stopped him from being evil, and he's sealed somewhere, and he can't get out. And he's stuck there.
Oh,
and
so you want to do the ancient evil type?
Yeah, like it's like
setup.
the imprisoning war type thing. He's stuck there, and then he's got an underling who's trying to bring him back. But to bring him back, he needs all 3 pieces of the Triforce. So he's running around trying to get the Triforce. And then Link somehow meets Zelda, and she's like, "Hey, we need to also go get the Triforce, so that they can't bring back this ancient evil." And then that's your 3 movies, is going and trying to find the Triforce. And then the cliffhanger of the second movie is that the bad guy gets all 3, and then Ganondorf is revived, and he's the final fight.
Can you imagine? Wait! I don't want to lose this thought. Can you imagine that they, like, in this movie, the party is Link, Zelda, and they're trying to prevent Ganondorf being resurrected. Link, Zelda, and Sarasala, right? But then he's like the old guy. He's like, oh, he's teaching Link how to use a sword. He's teaching Zelda how to be a princess and like all the powers. And he's like, and then no, he doesn't die. At the end, it turns out he's agging him the whole time. And then he was like, haha, stupid kids. And then he just revives Ganondorf. Yeah, and he kills him.
Well, what if you don't even see Ganondorf in the first movie? It's really we hear about him, but it's like Vati, him.
I bet he's got.
What about Girahim? What about Girahim? Girahim's cool.
We're talking about bringing like it's brought up the ancient evil Ganondorf, and then someone's reviving him, and that's the whole first movie, is trying to stop the person from reviving him. But who knows? So we can talk forever on potential story and plot lines, but what everyone wants to know is who the hell.
Damn, we were talking about this for a while. Holy shit!
Yeah. Who the hell are playing the main characters? Who do you guys want to see play the main characters?
I'm gonna be real with you right now. A lot of people are sandbagging and making jokes, but y'all need to understand Tom Holland is actually unironically a very viable possibility. And if it happens, I won't be mad.
I'm with you. Listen.
Yeah.
You have to look at his acting chops. Go to Apple TV right now, Apple TV, and watch his shows. He has a movie and he has a TV show. The guy is an incredible actor.
Have you seen The Impossible? His first movie when he was like 12. Even at 12, he was a crazy actor. So like people were like, oh, he's in everything. I'm like, duh, like
because he's good.
Yeah, we also really can't not acknowledge that the producer of this movie worked on quite Spider-Man. A few movies with Tom Holland. So if anyone's going to know the acting chops of Tom Holland, it's going to be the guy producing this movie.
Yeah. Well, now we know why they went with Sony. They wanted to get Tom Holland his link.
Dude, the Legend of Zelda.
Spider-Man.
The Legend of Zelda is part of the MCU. We're gonna get Spider-Man in there, and we can buy that.
I do think
Tom Holland, and they put a Spider-Man Easter egg in the background. Somehow would be like,
of course.
Oh, come on!
I'd be upset.
Like a joke.
Sony,
I do think
Sony is part of the production company.
Yeah,
so
they could literally Sony could allow them to put a Spider-Man Easter egg.
I don't think they would run the risk of pissing off Nintendo because they know it's a huge money maker.
And it's like one happens to look a bit like the Spider-Man logo.
Listen, I think the Zelda movie might have more potential than the Mario movie.
It could, but I mean, Mario movie has more staying power.
Well, no, if you look at the, you have your animated movie box office, and then your live action box office. The live action one's way bigger. Like they make way more money. So
the problem with the Mario movie is that a lot of parents are like, "Oh, but I don't want to watch a kids movie." Like I think it's perceived as a kids movie for a lot of people, right? On one perspective, it gives it a huge advantage because a lot of kids, if I want to watch it, but I don't know which way it's going to go. I think it's hard to say, but I'm just saying there's so much potential here because Nintendo could have like a Harry Potter, like a Lord of the Rings style series on our hands, which is huge.
We don't know enough about it where like, any prediction you can make, it could be really erratic because we don't even know the tone. Like it's all down to the tone of
right.
How
so is this more like The Hobbit or is this more like Lord of the Rings?
Right.
Because The Hobbit's like a more child-friendly version of Lord of the Rings. It's good. If they went in that direction, I'd be okay with that. And it was still 3 movies that actually, even though people weren't happy that they divided into 3, I actually thought they were pretty good. Like they were enjoyable. But it kind of makes me think about something else, though, that it sort of touches on some of the things we've kind of been talking about. I don't think they can tell the whole story in one movie. Like I don't think there's any way that they could introduce Link, tell us the lore of Zelda, and then, fight Gandalf at the end, like and complete it all.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna focus on one Triforce part in one movie, and at the end there's like, oh, there's 3. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and one thing is that the first movie will not be for fans. The first movie will be for people who don't know about The Legend of Zelda. They need to introduce a new audience.
See, I keep telling that to a lot of people, and they're like, no. I'm like, bro, Nintendo is looking to sell a product that's going beyond that of the hardcore market. I'm telling y'all. And people are like, nah, Zelda has enough staying power. I'm like, as much as Mario, it does not. Zelda is only really popular in certain regions, aside from like Mario being known globally. Right. So they really have to, like, I agree 100%, Mike, that like what they're building is going to be something that's going to be applied to the casual market first and foremost. And a lot of people don't like the reality of that. But I mean, like, hey, you want to make a blockbuster?
The next Zelda is going to sell 40 million.
Here we go. Okay.
Dude, it's going to do it.
I mean, if it comes right after the movie.
Oh, man.
We say one Triforce part per movie, but do we think we get the Master Sword in the first movie, or is that like you gotta wait?
We might see it. We might even get Link trying to pull it out, but he can't.
Master Sword in the first movie. Master Sword gets powered up in the second movie. And then Master Sword full power in the final movie.
As much as I want the Master Sword to show up as soon as possible, I really think that's gonna be that's a second movie weapon, bro. That's a second movie weapon.
That's an ending.
Well, maybe. So there's like maybe they can make mention of the Master Sword at the end, right? Like maybe like the closing scene is like just like a quick glimpse of like the secret grotto or something. Yeah. Like I think the end of the first movie is gonna have something that Zelda fans are like, oh, it's either going to be like Gandalf being resurrected, or a shot of the secret grotto or like a look at Zelda. But I think Zelda's could probably be an important character early on, even in the first movie. So probably not that, but something that a lot of Zelda fans are gonna be really hyped about as like that epilogue scene.
Yo, that the first Zelda movie is gonna need a Shadow the Hedgehog end credit. It has to be that level. It has to be the level of Shadow the Hedgehog end credit. But bro, I ain't no want no
Tingle,
tails,
baby.
no nothing, man.
Just
No.
kidding. Oh, but what if we got Minda? Now that would be interesting.
We're not ready for that conversation.
I think that they're gonna focus on the characters, the top 5 characters that are more of a constant in each game. Like in each game.
Link, Zelda, Ganondorf, Impa, and
Beetle.
Raru.
And Beetle.
What? Who?
Raru.
And
Raru.
Beetle.
No.
Raru.
Raru.
I feel like we've really glossed over something here. What?
Elma, the bar.
Telma. Ooh.
Bar scene.
Something I'm really concerned about now that I think about it, especially given how movies go nowadays, is if they include the other races that aren't Hylian, how is that going to look? Are they going to go the all practical route?
Oh no.
Are they going to go the
Oh,
CGI
no.
route? Are we going to have some really bad looking CGI Zora?
They
Like,
better not make Goron just look like
Look at Avatar.
I'll be
With Avatar,
livid.
Prosthetics with Zora.
listen, with Avatar,
Yeah.
after Avatar, I think everything is possible.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and then Avid Productions, they can do stuff.
Years, they can only do 3 frames every hour on the render machine to pull it off.
Yeah.
yeah, like
I don't think they'll be main characters. I think we'll hear about it, maybe see something, but they won't be like on screen the
that
entire
sounds a
time.
little racist.
Wow.
I also don't think this Zelda movie has an Avatar level budget.
Go broke. Let's go. Anyways,
I mean,
Nintendo financing it 50%.
Yeah,
more
but
than
Spider-Man
50%
mean it's an
More than
Avatar level budget.
the Mario Bros movie clearly had a huge budget, right? Like, and if
The
I
Mario
don't know.
Bros movie
It only had
like,
100 million. It only had a
Yeah.
100 million budget.
Well,
and it made
I
$1
mean,
billion.
Crazy.
So
I bet.
keep,
I mean,
keep the
I-
budget
I just-
low.
I just think that if they thought to do live action, it's because
Shoot
they
it on
knew
an
that
iPhone.
they would be able to pull it off.
find a cave
Like-
at a local park.
All right, so here are
Budget here. Sorry, you said shoot it on a budget.
top 5 characters: Ganon, Link, Princess Zelda, Impa, and
Raru.
no, it says here the
King
It
of
should be
Hyrule.
Raru. though.
Epona.
Epona.
That's a horse, though.
Technically, Epona is really only part of one game, but
But
Well,
if Link's
if
going
I
on
was
a
in
quest,
3
he's gonna need a
games-
horse.
yeah, but it's not.
What do you mean? Epona is in Ocarina of Time, in
Majora's
Majora's
Mask,
Mask,
Twilight
in
Princess.
Twilight Princess,
Also,
Yeah,
in
and
Breath of
is
the Wild,
sort of in
technically.
Breath of the Wild.
She's summonable, and I don't count that. She summonable.
But the thing is, though, remember that Game Awards event
Okay,
where
well,
they
Wolf
mentioned
went-
Epona?
Link is teaming with Link in Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild. Come on.
Miyamoto's like, "Oh, isn't that Epona?" Like that's how he said it.
Yeah, but that was before the game came out. It's like, oh,
I'm just
we're
saying
like-
you can make an
Right.
argument that Epona is kind of in Breath of the Wild.
Well,
no, she is in, but I mean, summonable, but not like as
Very
actual-
important.
I
Very
get how
important.
excited we are. Can we get back to talking about the casting though? Because literally we like got to Tom Holland and then we just stopped.
Idris
Okay.
Elba as Ganondorf.
Broadly speaking, I would like a bunch of no names,
No,
and I
it's
know
not-
that's not gonna happen,
It's not gonna happen.
Oh,
Uh,
we're gonna go
mix.
It's not helping.
Name.
but it should.
They need star power to sell this movie.
Yeah,
They're
exactly,
selling you a
exactly.
product.
I would rather a bunch of no names and have good effects and be able to see Gorons and
But-
Zoras that look like
Me
Gorons
too.
and Zoras.
But listen. If they have no names, they're making the game just for the fans. If they want to expand, they want to bring in the audience, and they need big.
They need
names
star
to bring in
power.
the audience.
They're-
All right, so
Yeah.
who's playing Raru?
Big
Who's
name.
totally going to be in the game?
They could have
Maybe.
put a bunch
In the
of
movie.
top tier, actual voice actors for the Mario movie. Instead, they went with big name actors. They're doing big name actors.
They're doing big answers.
All right,
just-
Tom Holland is
that's
Link
what they're doing.
in his story.
Maybe Nintendo's just going to go all out here. Like I think that's the fact that they're doing live action to me just says that they are prepared to go all out here. I always felt that it was safe to predict an animated movie from Illumination. The fact that they're not doing that just tells me Nintendo's like, no, you know what? Look at the sales of Breath of the Wild. Look at the sales of Tears of the Kingdom. Look how well the Mario movie did. Look how good we're just doing overall right now. I think Nintendo's
We
prepared.
got
to
this.
just-
Like,
I think they're ready to go all out and make an epic movie.
So I got my main characters already. The actors. So
Alright.
for Link, I'm gonna stick with Tom Holland. Okay.
Okay.
For Zelda, I'm gonna go with Emma Watson because
Okay.
British accent, she's beautiful.
She would be great.
For the great Deku, I'm gonna go with Morgan Freeman. I like his voice. Okay?
Yeah, no, that's a good casting.
For
Okay.
for Ganon, I'm gonna steal this one from Paul. Paul said in the other podcast. I'm gonna go with Jim. No, not Jim. Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill as
Ganondorf?
as Ganon.
Nah, yo, Idris Elba, bro. Hello?
Dude,
Henry Cavill can't be evil.
I know he can. But he has the chops. He knows how to use a sword. He's good. He's a video game, enthusiast. So I'm guessing he'll
Man, let him do his Warhammer shit, bro. Keep him away.
Oh, he's Warhammer, right?
Yeah, he's doing
What about Jason Momoa as Ganondorf?
I heard that too, and I'm like,
yeah, right.
He's got the build, he has the
height.
He's too likable.
The height.
Yeah.
He also has like the darker features, right? Like, and I feel like I can say that because I'm also, I'm
going big budget. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is Ganondorf.
There you go.
That's another one I feel like.
No, we don't need another movie with The Rock in it.
But apparently, I did some research. I did some research on this. Apparently, he has a stipulation in his acting contracts that he's not allowed to lose. All right,
The Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like.
So that's like he can't be Ganondorf because
what about Terry Crews? Is that too
He's
far
not
out
allowed
of
to
his?
lose.
Yeah, he's not allowed to lose in his movies.
Yeah, he doesn't have the acting chops for that. He's more like a comedian.
What?
Yeah, Terry. He doesn't know. He doesn't.
I don't know.
He's a good host. I loved him in 99. And he's a good host, and he has good comedy chops, but not like a serious.
You know what's hilarious? Someone in my chat a couple of days ago said Shaq, and I'm like, listen,
oh no,
Shaq has everything going for him to be Gareth except acting ability.
Exactly.
I love Shaq, and I think he's hilarious, and he's great on the mic. He does not have the acting ability. He has everything else but the acting ability.
So I personally like I feel like it should be someone that can pass off as someone that comes from the desert from like an ethnic perspective. So that's why I'm thinking it should be someone like tan with dark hair.
So what my other choice was this guy from his last name is Alba.
Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Knuckles.
Yeah. So because he's a really good actor, and the guy
He's an amazing actor.
Guy can fight too. So
oh yeah. Oh no. I didn't like. Yeah. Bro. And he could be. The thing is, for someone that's Ganondorf, we need someone that can be eloquent and cultured, but can still go crazy.
Yeah.
Right. And he does both of those roles. He's done both of those roles in one movie and separately in other movies. Like he can be like, all right, Link, have some tea. And it's like, oh, you didn't drink the tea, I'm about to bust you up. He could be both. So
plus he's in The Office. Yeah, you can't mess with that.
It was in The Office.
Okay. I hear Emma Watson as Zelda, and I'm so conflicted on that. I don't know. I really liked her. I really liked her in Beauty and the Beast. I thought she was cool in Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
There was somebody put a really good alternative in the chat, and I Googled it, and I actually am kind of into it. Oh, McKenna Grace. Her most recent thing that I've seen was the new Ghostbusters. She was like the main girl in the new Ghostbusters, which blew my mind because she's only like 19 years old. So she fits very perfectly in that
Afterlife.
Yeah, Afterlife.
I haven't seen. Oh, she's in
There's a new trailer. There's a new trailer, by the way, that looks really good.
I see it.
Okay, sure.
How about the guy from Dune? The guy from Dune, the little kid from Dune.
Timothy Chalamet?
Yeah, so that's another one I said for Link, and I'm like, I could see it. I see the vision. No.
Guys,
I got one for the King of Hyrule.
We've been tag teaming on this. I figured out who Ganondorf is. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
Looks like you lost.
Got it.
John Cena.
John Cena.
I was gonna say
hey.
James Earl Jones, but James Earl Jones is retired.
And he's Omega, like he's super old.
He's
like I don't think he can move.
How about John Kerry from Ghirahim?
Who?
Nah, we need Ryan Reynolds as Ghirahim.
Kerry for Ghirahim.
I'm telling you, Benedict Cumberbatch as Zant. That's like the most perfect casting like ever. That's him. He's him.
All right, I
Man.
got your King of Hyrule though. You ready?
Who?
Sean Bean. Ned Stark from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
The guy that died in Lord of the Rings.
And clearly
Oh,
gonna die in
yeah,
this.
then he's gonna die again as
everything's in.
King of Hyrule.
He
But
literally,
I mean,
dies in
yeah.
everything is in. He dies. Definitely, I might. You know what? You know how this is a contract stipulation that The Rock has to always win. I think he has a contract
Always have to
stipulation.
die.
I always have to die.
Yeah.
But when you said
he-
Sean
he-
Bean, I'm like, wait, Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson, and I'm like, oh no.
Every role he's in, it's hilarious.
But he does such a good. He would be. Come on, is there anyone better for the King of Hyrule?
As long as we don't get Aquafina as Navi or any kind of fairy,
I
I'm
want
cool.
Aquafina. I want Aquafina.
No,
Mhm.
Are we talking
no.
about the water drink? I'm
No,
so,
the Asian
The
actress
actress.
with the raspy voice. She looks.
I don't know who this is at all.
She's
Alright,
from
I'm
she's from
Googling
the Chang-Chi and the 20 wing rings. I
She was
forgot.
in
Yeah,
that.
Shang-Chi and the
She's
Ten
she
Rings.
She's
played
like Raya in the
the
last Dragon.
seagull in the new Little Mermaid.
And,
that really bad
and she's the
song.
last dragon in Raya and the Last
And
Dragon.
she's also a really good martial artist.
Don't forget, Robert wants Batista.
No,
Throwing that
not
out.
as
Not-
Ganondorf, but he would make a
Batista-
really good goon.
I think Batista would be a good Gandalf, but the thing is, he said before that like he's trying to step away from those type of roles. He wants to do more dramatic, like serious, like dramas and stuff. So like that, the court's already out on that one.
Yeah, like that cabin
Oh.
we made recently.
Okay, so I actually think The Rock could be in the Zelda movie. No, not as Ganondorf, but as Daruk. Or Darunia.
I would like that.
Ah,
Yeah,
That's
and
his
therefore,
personality a bit towards you,
and
yeah.
he could still always win.
Yeah,
Yeah. Ooh, I, think it
I
works
see it.
really well.
The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock
No,
plays.
Yo,
The Rock.
Nintendo has the potential to do the funniest shit ever. Like, bro,
No, hold on.
yes.
I got it.
Wait, who's the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy? He could also be a really good Goron.
I got it. Hold on.
Dave Bautista.
Batista? Yeah, we were just talking about him.
Okay.
So
Hold on. I got it. It's
All right.
Dwayne Daruk Johnson.
There you go.
And I mean, how about the voice actor for Ganon himself, Matt Mercer?
as
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just have a problem
He was
with
a good Ganondorf in the game. I don't
Oh,
know
the
if
games
that
were like
translates very well.
voice
like
acting's
physical-
different.
physical acting and voice acting. They're like
They
different
did
beasts.
name actors for the animated movie. They're gonna go voice actors for the live action.
Oh, here we go. They're going opposites.
Wow, nah,
That's
swapping crossing the beams, nah.
So
No.
where does Chris
Where-
Pratt
some things
fit
you don't
into
do,
a
Harry.
live action Zelda movie? Like they gotta find a spot for good old Chris.
Tingle.
No.
All right. You ready? Ready? Side on. He's side on.
I would hate that.
I
Like,
mean, it could be Zelda's dad. With
No,
the-
no, that's Sean Bean.
No, he should be. If they find a way to put Malin in the game, he can be Malin's dad.
Talon? No.
Okay.
Yo,
Because
if you're
because there's a Mario reference in
Yo, if
Ocarina
you're-
of Time.
If you're
I
trying to
actually
shove
like
Chris
that.
Pratt into this movie,
like
he could be
that.
one of those weirdos juggling the balls in
Yeah.
Castletown. Man,
Well,
like-
Beetle.
He's just a background
like,
character.
you're right? Yeah.
I think he's just
Absolutely.
not gonna. I
$1
think
million
he's
to
just
come in here
really
and
happy
juggle
with being in
the
the
ball
Mario
in the
movie. I think if you're in the Mario movie, you're automatically not in the Zelda movie. How about that?
Yeah, I think
No.
so.
So, Princess Zelda, what are we doing?
I don't really know a lot of like young, well-known or up-and-coming actresses. I mean, like
I
one
would
name
have said
threw
Anya
out-
Taylor-Joy, but she's already Princess Peach.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
one I already throw was Chloe Grace Moretz,
Yeah, I like her too.
and I'm like, that's like the only I know. So
I like Emma Watson still. She's elegant and beautiful, and
But-
It just depends. Well, I guess
How
hair
old
color
is she?
doesn't
You
really
like
matter
fan
because
art
people
of
can
Tom
dye their
Holland
hair.
and Emma Watson, don't you? You love that fan art, and you're like, yes.
I do.
Everyone's using that like.
Because it's like the
Render.
only thing out there. There's like not really anything else.
Yeah, it helps to paint the
There
picture.
will be now.
I'm
but-
so, like that art has got Tom Holland so ingrained in my head as Link.
he's gonna.
I'm like, I'm gonna
the
be
prophecy
disappointed.
is gonna be true. The prophecy is real.
So, I'm not saying I'm against Tom
Well-
Holland, but it kind of depends on what direction you go with Link. Like, if you go with like a Twilight Princess like Link, who's like kind of like a cowboy, like Tom Holland
Ranch
doesn't scream
hand.
cowboy to be like he's a little like this Link would be someone who very clearly is athletic. I'm not saying Tom Holland isn't, but there's a little bit of like a difference in like stereotype there. Like maybe this Link is already blatant, like someone who's very athletic and can rough and tumble like right from the get go. I'm not saying he's going to be like, you know, a 6'6", 300-pound muscle dude, but you know,
man. But like Tom Holland does all his own stunts. He's the one. I'm pretty sure he's like the only one who can actually backflip as Link without strings.
Yep, you're right. Right.
What about what's her name? The
man.
girl from Hunger Games.
That's Zelda, man. That's her. That's Zelda. Get her.
What's the name of the girl from Hunger Games? I can't remember her name.
In that picture.
The main girl from Hunger Games? Yeah.
The main girl.
She was Mystique, and she was
Why can I not
the
remember
girl
her
that's in
name?
every single movie that was just in that random comedy that came out with the little kid?
Yeah.
Girl.
What is her name?
In Hunger Games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer
Somebody
Lawrence.
said
There
it
you go.
instead.
Yeah.
Eric's was saying on every. Eric, you're talking too much. Shut
If
up.
they picked her for Princess Zelda,
like-
that would be
he's like 40.
shocking. She has like a completely different, like, I mean,
Look
not
at
saying she
Impa.
couldn't do it, but
Look at Impa. See that's how this girl she fits the role.
that doesn't look like Impa.
Yeah, it says Impa on the thingy.
Nah,
Yeah, but that's not. I don't know what that's.
Oh wait, no, that's one of the great fairies. Never mind.
That's great fairy,
Okay.
bro. Like
Amelia Clark is Zelda? No. Sorry.
Oh, you guys have a good idea. No.
I really had to think about that one. No.
I want to go back to the how Link is going to look. So I agree that eventually he will don the green tunic, but I bet you there'll be a lot of scenes where he doesn't.
I don't think
wear
he
it.
starts with it.
Yeah,
oh, absolutely not. No.
yeah.
I think you know what, that could even be one of the things. Like maybe he earns it at the end of the movies.
The end credit.
Maybe he has to prove himself the hero, and that's the first arc. That's the first movie.
No,
just to
I
prove
don't
that
think he
he's
has to
the
prove
hero.
himself. I think he's chosen and he's battling with the choice of whether he's worthy or not.
There you go. That's how Chris Pratt's involved, by the way. Free Metroid hat. Just the Mario picture in the window of Hyrule Castle.
Just like
There we go.
Ocarina-
I'll take it.
There you go. Just like an Ocarina of Time, 100%.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with
Yeah,
it.
it's an Easter egg reference in the background. Not
Yeah, but something that fits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
We might as well discuss this quick because someone did super chat it in here. It says Free Metroid. What do you think? Who do you think should play King Zora?
Jason Momoa again.
No,
He's
Vincent.
Aquaman.
Vincent, the guy who plays Kingpin.
What?
What's his name?
Vincent like
D'Onofrio?
He's really
Yes.
good.
yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio. Is that how you say his name?
Oh, okay. I see that.
D'Onofrio. Yeah,
Yeah,
King Zora.
I see that.
Mweep. 100%.
Who's the guy from The Boys that likes to F squids?
I haven't watched The Boys yet, so
He might.
I wouldn't know.
Who's gonna play the Rito? Who's gonna be our Rivali like character?
They're gonna get real birds. And it's just gonna be a bunch of chickens on set. And that's it.
No.
Tapioca.
Put the boom mic down, and all you hear is like, thank you. Great performance.
I don't think the
Oscar
Rito's
winning
going to
right
be
there.
in this movie.
Yeah, they might be. I don't know that we're gonna get all the races and like. the first one.
Honestly, I think they just keep it Hylian and call it a day.
Yeah.
And maybe Gerudo, because they're like
Well,
more
if Ganondorf
humanoid than
is in
any of
there,
the
they
other
almost
ones.
have to have Gerudo.
But they'll keep
I
it
don't know.
pretty.
Again, we don't know what direction the movie's going. Like we don't know what they're gonna do.
If they do go like Lord of the Rings type of traveling, finding the ring, the thingy, then they're probably gonna visit each area, each zone and then try to defeat something there and then move on or whatever.
Sure, possible. All right. Well, that was a really long time talking about a movie we know very, very little about because we all are huge fans.
We're still
We're all
scratching
huge
that.
fans.
Well,
Yeah,
that's crazy, right? I mean, that's how much we probably just an announcement.
all over again when they give us any new information. Anything.
All right. Last question. Who's gonna play Goma?
Goma.
That was a joke.
A
It's
CGI.
not gonna-
It's
I mean,
gonna
they could
be
all-
CGI
they can make Goma
Yeah.
talk and then like a voice actress.
I mean, what if all the bosses talked?
Will we get angry Cocos, whatever?
Yes.
In Lord of the
that's-
Rings, the
that's
giant
the chicken.
spider talked.
Yeah, that's not. I don't want to remember that.
Here's the thing. Here's what my last point is. I really hope that with this movie they don't go really hard on CGI because that is kind of like the hip thing nowadays. Is everything's got to be CGI. I really want them
practical and CGI.
to go more like Lord of the
They can breed
Rings,
dragons, I guess.
or
breed
like
dragons and
something like Pirates of the Caribbean. I watched that last year, and it had that really nice mix of we have practical stuff, but we also have CGI. And because we use more practical stuff, it doesn't look dated in 3 years because we've advanced CGI again.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to have like practical, because you're doing a medieval fantasy movie.
Well, I look at it
which
like
is
this.
so
Balrog
cool.
still looks good to me.
See, it depends on how they do it, because if you look back at like the original Lord of the Rings trilogy and what they
Still
did
looks
20
good.
years ago, most of that still looks really good today.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, but they had a mix. Like
They had a mix. There's a
the
lot of
practical and
makeup and
CGI.
costume work.
Yes,
A lot.
of prosthetics, a lot, and you
Yeah.
know what? It was awesome, and it helped it stand the test of time to the point now where they have like that new Amazon Prime series, and it doesn't look like it's so vastly different from the original stuff. It seems like it all fits in, even though we have better technology today. So I would like to see them do that, because it makes it more timeless. And if they, if say they do a trilogy and they revisit it again in a decade or two after, it could still feel like it's still part of the same like universe.
Man, I'm just thinking about like how they could present fantastical areas in this with like, with good application of CGI technology. Just imagine Zora's Domain and Goron City. And
there's no way they're not having Zoras and Gorons.
The bigger question
we
is,
need that.
Listen, the bigger question is, who's willing to travel to California for the premiere?
It'll be the one time I make an exception to go to California.
I mean, I would go for that.
Yeah.
I just have to be invited.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You just sneak in.
I'm gone.
Oh,
You
right.
sneak
Well,
in.
thank you.
Look, if Nintendo
Yeah,
hands me an invite, I'll go. I'll say that, but I'm not going to seek it out.
You put on a construction worker uniform and you just walk in like you own the place.
You gotta talk to Paul. You gotta talk to Paul. Paul got connections.
Nah, you put on like really nice
If
suit.
you can get me invited to the premiere, I'll show up. But I'm not going to try to like weasel my way in and be like, oh, I'm important, let me in. Nah,
Yeah.
I'm good. I can totally go to my local theater and enjoy it just fine.
I would be able to
what
wait.
sucks too, sometimes when you go to the premiere, you can't talk about it after.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So then you're like stuck waiting for everyone else to watch it anyways.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's exciting, but the only people you can talk about.
You could take the time to make a really epic video about it, and then once
what I'd probably do, like if all of us win, was I'd be like, hey, let's pre-record a podcast to drop the day it comes out.
That would be good. Yeah.
That'd probably be the only thing I could think of to do. Obviously, in addition to I could get an impressions video already done and ready to go right away. But all right. Well,
can I ask you? I probably shouldn't do this.
Oh.
All right. Just quick.
Is it keeping it clean?
Quick vibes. Was this announcement related to the Dr. Sircon Toto tweet?
Yes.
For the re-Zelda thing that he was saying?
He said ZR 2023.
Yeah, ZR.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think this was related to what Jeff Grubb said.
Yeah, this is Jeff Grubb's.
Yeah,
sure. But
I think his source knew that this was getting announced this year.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think this would have gotten announced a lot sooner if the writers and actors didn't go on strike, because they could have started a lot sooner.
Yeah,
like this would have been a June or July type thing if everybody wasn't on strike. Yeah, and they wanted to wait until they could actually start working on the movie, even though they knew they were going to do it. They wanted to wait until they could actually start working to say, "Hey, we're working on this thing."
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I guess I just don't know what ZR would stand for. I mean, I wouldn't count this as a reveal.
We've been talking about it for a while. I mean,
what I mean is if this movie is what he was alluding to, because I don't see it's not a reveal, it's an announcement.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
so. With the strike over ended today, when do you see this movie coming out?
2026.
2026.
2026.
So next year we'll get a Nintendo Direct with the cast announcement, right?
Probably
next year will be cast because they'll start filming next year,
February Direct even or the June one or something.
Yeah,
they'll do
what they did with Mario, kind of like every Direct give us a little bit of.
Is 2026 when we get 2D Zelda?
No.
Ideally,
we got 2D Mario when the movie came out for so.
Dwayne Edson wanted to throw his little hat in the ring here and say Martin Ford as Ganondorf.
Martin Ford.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
Everybody's like,
This guy is huge. What the heck?
Massive. Jesus.
No.
I mean, is he an actor or is he just a
Yeah.
bodybuilder?
Holy crud, he's huge.
What the heck?
That
I mean,
guy is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
He could be.
He is an actor.
He
Yes,
is
he
an
is.
actor. He's
Yes,
been
he
in
is.
stuff.
In
Wow.
F9, the Fast Saga, he is Lieutenant Sue.
Dude, he was in the Kingsman.
Look at him. Look at that Brock
Oh,
Lesnar
yo, he's gonna be. Yo, this guy is gonna be Shao Kahn.
in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, in the Mortal Kombat 2 that's coming out. The
That's
Mortal Kombat
crazy.
2 movie.
I'm
Wow.
gonna stand by what I said. I feel like it should be someone that looks like not from Western Europe, but looks like they could be from the desert.
And then where is it in the real world? Where would they put Hyrule? What accent would they use? Would it be British,
European.
European?
I would
I'd
like
say
to.
British.
Somewhere within the UK, Welsh, Scotland.
Yeah,
anywhere
if you
around.
think about it, like
Wales.
all of them hyper successful high fantasy stuff, that is like
Okay.
what
They also gave Zelda a British accent in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
yeah. And Joyce J is just saying we're all going to the premiere. It's not negotiable. Well, you better tell Nintendo that because I'm not that connected.
I would love to go,
Mhm.
but I have to be invited.
All right. So we do have other topics, believe it or not, today.
Yep.
Because Furukawa, he didn't say Switch 2 out loud, but he was definitely talking about it in a way that was surprising because Nintendo does not typically comment on rumors. And Furukawa said that was Iwata era Nintendo. I am not Iwata. I am going to comment on rumors. Switch 2 rumors, not real. Have a good day.
He's lying. He's
Yeah,
lying.
yeah,
He's lying.
Pretty much.
100% lying.
Well, some people, the 2025 team is now fighting hard. Like, you see, you're all wrong. 2025 is the earliest we see.
It's
Switch
still
2.
coming next year.
No,
I-
it could come out 2025. I don't care, but he's
I mean,
lying. Like,
It's possible it comes out 2025, but I'm still 100%.
Well, I love when
Team
people look at the
2024.
Switch sales, they're like, "Oh, look, they're a little bit ahead of next year." Yeah, and they're still projecting lower because they're not projecting as high of a holiday season. And by the way, it's good that the Switch is still doing good. You want it to do good to go into the next system.
Exactly.
Yep.
Right. We don't want to
want
wait
it to
until
have
it
momentum.
dies out.
Yeah, you don't want it to be dead. So like,
But-
it's actually good for the transition.
Also, Q1 was only good because of Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, you don't have Tears of the Kingdom, and they don't have that mega game. Like, yeah, Mario Wonder is great, but it's already out. The sales didn't get boosted that much from it.
It didn't break 10 million, did it? On its opening weekend.
4.3 mil.
4.3 mil, which is still like the fastest
And
selling
that was
Mario
not
game.
more- that's in 2 weeks. That wasn't even
Oh
opening.
yeah.
So
That is such a significant difference.
celebrate, get this
Wow.
balloon going.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet Mario Wonder will continue to sell for years to come, but
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna have way harder staying power than Zelda.
Yeah.
I got to remember now when I do 2, I want to do this.
although apparently Breath of the Wild is still selling really well. Like, I think
Mhm.
it's sold. It's Breath of the Wild sold 500,000 in the last like 3 months, right? Like, it's pretty good.
I think it's right now sitting at 31 million right now. That's where it's sitting at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Furukawa was shooting down all the rumors. He shot down like, that we told companies anything in 2022, even though we have legal court documents that say otherwise.
Exactly.
He shot down that we showcased the system overseas, which is kind of hilarious because the reports never said they showcased the system. The reports said
Right.
demos.
There was no hardware.
He
It was-
literally told on himself, and I'm like, my guy,
Yeah,
like
you
I get it.
listen
You have to say this in front of investors, but like
You listen to his wording, he's specifically not getting detailed because it gives them plausible deniability when they announce it, and some of this stuff is absolutely true. So,
he's not lying. He's just being misleading.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which by the way, Nintendo's literally just outright lied in the past. Like, say, we don't have a new version of this coming. Oh, just kidding. It's the next day. Here
2DS.
Here you go. It's the next day. We have a new version, and sorry we lied to you yesterday. You just
But aren't they not actually allowed to lie to investors though?
They
I feel like we've had this conversation before, and we're like, hey, they're not actually able to lie to the investors.
Like, they can't tell blatantly false things. And that's why the wording on this is so interesting, because it's not really denying very specific things. It's talking in a generality.
Like, he said, like, we don't know what he said overseas. Okay, overseas.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we
It
know
can mean anything.
the Gamescom. That's the only thing that was being
Like,
reported, it was being shown at. But
Remember,
during the summer.
he said that
is
those
summer.
rumors about the Switch 2 are inaccurate, right? Is
That
like,
doesn't mean
it doesn't mean like, is it still coming? When's it coming? Are you building it? Like, it's not answering those questions.
He did say, yeah, we're working on new hardware.
Yeah.
He did actually say, no one's talking about that. Everyone's like, oh, see, Switch 2 can't, they're not doing anything. Well, no one's talking about the fact that he said we're working on new hardware because he's been saying that for 3 years.
Well, they're always working on new hardware.
Yeah, it's like no one thinks that's report worthy because but like if you're gonna act like they're not doing anything. Yeah,
I think it also is worth noting that we didn't get a revision this year, but we've been getting revisions every 2 years. So
Yeah.
It's kind of odd.
I think it's coming next year. It's coming. I don't know, why Furukawa chose to comment on rumors when they usually don't, but his comments are so vague that it's just there's a history of Nintendo saying really vague things to deny, to push current sales, only to like literally very short.
Right.
The funny thing is, the track record is when they do something like this, they actually reveal the damn thing pretty soon after.
Game Awards.
That's actually the history. When they go into this general deniability,
It's possible.
only they unveil it.
In fact, I'll even say not only is it possible, it's plausible.
It's 100% not possible.
Tears of the Kingdom for Game of the Year.
I think you revealed in
I
January.
don't think it's gonna happen.
Tears of the Kingdom, I'm on that boat. Take Game of the Year, but Switch
It's gonna
2,
get Game of the Year. It's gonna get Game of the Year.
Switch 2, nothing this year whatsoever. Done.
And
It
even
seems
if it was gonna be
unlikely.
this year or next year, Nintendo's gonna announce it on their own terms, not at the place at the Game Awards.
There's too many sales going on. There's so many bundles and editions that they released for the holiday season. So
So no,
You could
my
argue
take.
that's clear out stock.
yeah,
I
they
think there's going to be something at the Game Awards, and going back to the Circon Toto tweet, like maybe there is going to be a Zelda remake that they have early on for Switch 2. It's cross-gen. Maybe they show that off.
You know what's interesting? Sticking on the Switch 2 topic, because there was other things in the financials. They talked about how, because you guys know, like NSO is a paid subscription, so we have our cloud save backups are part of that and all of this. Well, now they said Nintendo accounts are going to be a long-lasting thing that's going to keep track of all of your purchases, all of your save data. They didn't say tied to NSO; they said tied to Nintendo accounts, which they already told us back in 2021 is going on to the next system. Like they're keeping Nintendo accounts. I almost
keeping track of our purchases is
keeping track of our purchases, keeping track of our
Purchases.
saves. Like that shows to be like
wow, saves too?
compatibility. Yes, they said saves too.
Wow.
That's like you basically just telling us there's backwards compatibility in the next system.
Yeah.
Because it's long lasting. Long lasting isn't new system comes out next year or in 2025 and boop, you don't have your data anymore.
I think it's interesting, right? Because you look at some of the charts they put out, like you talk about how they plan on supporting Switch well into its 8th year and all that. Like some people like to look at that and argue, okay, this means Switch 2 is not coming out anytime soon, but that's ignoring the likelihood that they're going to support Switch for a few years to come, the same way they treated 3DS.
Title.
3DS was still getting published titles from Nintendo in 2019, 2 years after Switch came out.
Yeah.
So, I think they're going to push Switch for as long as they can. But the interesting part is by doing this and still putting out games, when Switch 2 comes out and is backwards compatible, it's going to really benefit them.
Yeah.
They're going to keep that momentum going because they have such strong software sales right now. They actually they upped their forecast by 5 million for software, which is really good.
Believe it or not, I think that to me that was the best part of the news for me, that they mentioned that they wanted to break that cycle of keeping a console for a certain period of time, that the Switch will be continuing to support it even with games, hardware updates and stuff well into the next generation in the console. And so, I mean, that's good. It's good news overall.
It's also interesting that that's a talking point right now because Nintendo doesn't want people to lose faith in supporting the Switch with all the Switch 2 speculation right now. The reason Nintendo is going to deny Switch 2 is because they want to push sales as much as possible. So they're going to say things to strengthen.
Exactly. We got the holiday season coming up
thing.
right now, and there's so many bundles that they they duct taped
More
together.
bundles than ever before.
Yeah.
That Smash one doesn't look good. I don't like it.
You don't like you don't like the console? I like the black dog, the matte black dog.
Is that the only black dog?
Is cool.
Yeah.
But it
like,
comes, there's a black dock in the other OLED, the neon Joy-Con one. So that's not a new dock.
Wait, I thought it was a great dock because I got the white one. So it's looking
Right.
No, I looked at it because I thought it was Oh,
I mean,
they're doing a
I just
black dot.
assumed that it's just from something.
Yeah, maybe because I haven't seen it.
They've had it before.
Do we
The
also
only thing
think?
they're really doing with any of these bundles is like the Smash one. They're bringing back the Smash Joy-Con.
Yeah, I don't like those. Those are ugly.
Yeah, but that original Smash dock, that was cool.
But yeah, but they didn't bring back the Smash.
And we're not getting that back. Nope.
You know.
Yeah. So
I also saw someone mention in the chat the Amiibo restocks, which I know was like a big oh, they're announcing
you
Switch
got the
2.
Smash bundle. That's what it is.
Nah.
Well, now
Yeah.
with the Smash bundle, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yep. That's. I mean, literally, it fits all the Amiibo that are coming.
Except, well, I mean, I guess. But what about the Metroid Amiibo? I mean, Samus is in there.
Yeah.
I mean, we have Metroid Dread and
Hey,
Metroid Prime Remaster came
Dread's
out.
officially ahead. It's officially across 3 million.
Ooh.
Numbers are
Yeah.
in. It is officially
3.07.
Yep. Anyways, and then the last topic is really just going over just some other interesting things from the financials. How about Super Mario Wonder being the fastest Super Mario, like the fastest selling Super Mario game of all time? Pretty interesting.
Love it.
Does it deserve it?
I think it's
Yes, the game's amazing. I
yeah,
love
I
the
think
game.
it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what your opinion is. I don't. You weren't on for any of the Mario.
I thought that game was so fire. I'm 100% in it right now.
Oh, I mean, I'm working on it. I love it too. I don't.
Yeah.
So when you say deserve, I will say yes, but I don't want that to be construed as I think it's the best Mario game ever, because it's not the best Mario game ever. It's a very good one.
That's the best 2D Mario game ever.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
That's the that I think that's a pretty good.
in the debate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep. It's a
Yeah.
good argument to have for sure. For sure. I mean, it
It
might be my favorite 2D Mario ever.
Mm.
We'll see, but it's probably yeah. I think probably. Yeah.
I think it's
Basically, all I'm saying is it's not better than Mario Odyssey or Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, but that's
still
fine.
like
Like the 3D, 2D Mario stuff.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine.
I like it better. I like it better than Mario Odyssey. I'll take.
Now that's a
That's
hot.
just that. I
Okay.
just think that's just your personal taste. Like
You want a real hot
that's,
take?
that's just your opinion, man.
Yeah,
Like-
I like Mario.
Wait. You're gonna
Mario,
give a real hot take.
Bowser's
Nick?
Fury.
I'm about to go. Ocarina of Time is a really horrible 3D transition.
No.
Don't-
Real hot take. I personally like New Super Mario Bros. Wii more than Mario Odyssey. I just was not a huge fan
New
of
New
Odyssey.
Super Mario Bros. Wii?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Is that well? Let me ask you. Let me just for clarity. Is that an indictment on Mario Odyssey or is that a praise on Mario Bros. Wii?
Both.
You monster.
Listen. I think Galaxy is better than Odyssey.
I don't
know
like
what to
Galaxy
say.
at all.
No, I still say Galaxy 2 is the best 3D Mario game.
Actually, let me
I
rephrase that.
like Bowser's Fury. To me, that's the best one of all.
I think 3D Land is better than 3D Land and 3D World are better than Odyssey. I'll die on that hill.
Yeah.
I
Bowser's
love
Fury.
3D Land though. I love 3D
Yeah,
Land.
Listen, Nick.
3D
I like
Land and
you, but
Bowser's Fury.
I'm just gonna not respond because I have nothing nice to say.
Listen, Bowser's Fury is our introduction to an open world Mario, like little by little. You know,
And bringing up all these Mario things, by the way. How
I
about
do
the
agree with you on
Mario
Bowser's Fury.
movie
Good format.
increasing sales of like 6 different Mario games to over a
we
million
all-
in the last quarter?
That's the strat.
We all knew it was
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
did his thing. Pikmin 4.
Yes.
2 million.
Pikmin game of all time. I mean, let's just say it right now. We're getting Pikmin 5.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I thought we knew that already.
Sure.
Well, I mean, look, if it didn't sell well, then there's no guarantee of anything.
So Pikmin 4 is gonna maybe pass 3 million after the holidays.
I think it's got a chance. Yeah.
And
Wait,
the
where is it at
mobile
right now?
game.
2.6.
2.6.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, holiday 3 million. Yeah.
2.5 at launch, 2.6 overall. Yeah.
And the mobile game is doing good too.
Wait,
Pikmin-
2.5 at
Bloom,
launch.
yeah, they brought up Bloom. Yeah, it's 2.5 at launch, but it's been 2.6. I know. Oh, it didn't sell that much.
So it's
sense.
only sold 100,000.
You got to remember, like, you know, this is only through a certain date in sales.
Sure.
See
Okay.
what happens.
As of September. Well, it came out
Think about it though. It's
July.
only, so what? 400,000 more copies to hit 3 mil.
Well,
So-
they didn't announce any DLC, so that's kind of. So yeah, I could see them announcing Pikmin 4 DLC at the Game Awards.
I don't know. I don't feel like the right place.
I'd be
for
down
that.
for Pikmin 4 DLC.
Okay. Was the Game Awards the right place to announce Fire Emblem Engage DLC?
Yes, it's a more
Yeah.
hardcore kind of game. It's not a casual game.
Yeah.
You know anything about Fire Emblem? That's for hardcore
Okay,
gamers.
but
That is
Pikmin
not
4
bad.
is
I
good.
play, I
Pikmin
bet
4
I know you like Fire Emblem, but I play them too, buddy.
Fire Emblem's a
4
bigger franchise than
will
Pikmin. What are we talking about? This
inevitably.
is even like a debate. Fire
Is
Emblem
it?
is better than Pikmin.
Pikmin.
I mean-
I'm not sure about Pikmin 4.
Nah, like he's right. Like Fire Emblem has become like one of top like
Okay.
They sell like 4 or 5 million.
Where are
Five.
sales for Fire Emblem Engage? Where are the
What?
sales for Fire Emblem Engage?
How much?
Let's
What
find
are
out.
the sales for Fire Emblem Engage?
uh,
Man, I feel like that game came out forever ago.
came out this year. It was forever ago.
Yeah,
It came out in January. Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure Pikmin 4 has greatly outsold Fire Emblem Engage.
Okay, what about Fire Emblem Three Houses?
Well, that
Wait,
came out in
so,
2019. A lot of years.
Engage.
They're the better Fire Emblem game. So I'm just saying.
They're comparable. I just don't think it's a good argument to make that it's vastly more popular. So it's a more
I didn't say
fitting
it
for
was
the Game
vastly
Awards.
more popular. I said the kind of game it is.
I'm saying that's
Sure.
more
So
popular.
that's why sales I don't even think are really relevant.
Well, I
If
know.
you want to get into sales, Pikmin 4
You
has
supposed to
potentially
be-
more
He's supposed to
sales
be
to
when I
have than the
mentioned
other
that
ones.
Fire Emblem is for a more hardcore gamer than Pikmin is.
I
Pikmin's more of a casual audience.
Yeah.
so all right. Let's actually have this conversation for a moment. So listen,
So
I'm not-
that's time for me. I gotta go. That's actually this not a bit, but I actually do have to go. So like,
See you later, man.
there's my new record, you guys. New record. I've been
Yeah,
like here
new
in the
record.
beginning.
Yeah, a couple hours.
But I gotta go. Start sooner. All right. Later, y'all.
see you,
All
man.
right, man. Take care.
It is.
Later, man.
So this is the point I'm making. It's not that I don't think Fire Emblem is not a core centric series. It is, but
Yeah.
I also think Pikmin's a core centric series. The question is, do they fit the odds for the Game Awards? And I don't think the argument that Fire Emblem's any more a better fit than Pikmin is, because there's an issue with the Game Awards. It's been well discussed, and that is that Japanese anime-esque kind of games don't really get pushed. The conversation about Xenoblade at the Game Awards is always brought up because it's always shafted. Fire Emblem is in a very similar style. I don't think Fire Emblem's the kind of game that it's not really greatly praised at the Game Awards. I don't think it's a better fit than Pikmin. You could argue it's maybe just as bad of a fit. It's not. I just don't see how it's any more of a fit. It's arguably
I also
worse.
don't think there will be Pikmin 4 DLC, but that's a totally
Well,
different.
that I think we could have that conversation on, because they didn't announce any DLC for Tears of the Kingdom, no signs of DLC for Mario Wonder. All maybe signs of Switch 2 is around the corner.
DLC for everything. Like that's just they're not that kind of company that does it for all their games. They're usually just like, oh, let's move on to the next one.
It just feels weird that we've gone quite a while without announcing any DLC though.
No, I actually
Mario
I disagree
Kart's
with you on that.
over.
Yeah.
So what's the
Mario
DLC now?
tomorrow.
Mario Kart literally ends tomorrow.
No, I
Well,
think
now, but
yeah. No, I do think Nintendo does like to announce DLC for the games. The reason we're not seeing DLC this year is because Switch 2 is around the corner.
Yeah. I think it's all if there is DLC for any of them, they'll announce it after Switch 2 comes out.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be some cross.
Anyway, I threw out the idea of Pikmin 4 just as opposed to expecting something even bigger, right? Like last year at the Game Awards, we had Fire Emblem Engage DLC announced and Bayonetta Origins. Like, would you consider Bayonetta Origins super
Mario
core-centric?
tease, maybe. Just don't attach the Switch to it.
ain't no
Pretty
way.
Hopefully.
So
Sorry.
Ooh,
I just
you know what it could be? Hold on. Remember, they just announced a Zelda movie. The stuff ends tomorrow. What if they do a Zelda movie tease?
No.
That's
No.
too quick of a turnaround.
Wait, they
time.
haven't even announced
I
the voice
mean,
actor.
He did say that they've been working on it for a while. So
But they're also
But if-
going to be working on it for a while.
Yeah, the announcement sounded like they just attached a director and a writer and all that to it. So
Yeah.
while Miyamoto may have a rough outline of
Yeah.
what the story is going to be, the writer still has to get it and translate it into an actual script, and then they still have to get people and film it. And
yeah, but they can put together a CG trailer. Look at Metro Prime 4. Metro Prime 4. That's all they have to show to tell us that it's coming.
I did remember that the Mario movie will most likely be up for video game adaptation of the year.
Metro Prime 4. I get hyped for that thing every single event there is, and it just still isn't here.
Right?
Like I don't even want to think about it. I want to be just shocked when it actually happens.
Yeah.
Which
If it
could be this
happens, I hope-
December. At the Game Awards.
It could be a while. Who the hell knows? What about Tears of the Kingdom? 19.5 mil. Still going.
That's
I mean,
good,
it's going to cost 20 mil easily this holiday.
yeah, it's a dual gen game, so it's gonna sell more and Switch too.
I just think we're not going to really have a good understanding of how well Tears of the Kingdom is going to do until we see how it performs this holiday. Like where it is after this holiday. I think
get like a couple extra mil this holiday, or is it
like if it's let's say it sells like 4 million, then I'm gonna think, oh, maybe it does catch Breath of the Wild someday, right? If it only sells like
It
a million and a
like,
half,
if it's
probably
cross gen and there's like a new release on Switch 2, people will combine the sales together, and
Sure.
it's kind of an interesting situation that it's in. I mean, Breath of the Wild was technically in that situation, except it was on Wii U, which wasn't very popular. But I mean, the Nintendo Switch, obviously, just general update there, over 132 million. I mean, look, right now, the Nintendo Switch in the first 2 quarters of this year is ahead of the sales of the first 2 quarters of last year. Just kind of a fun fact. Now, granted, it's probably because of Tears of the Kingdom.
front loaded.
Yeah,
It's
Tears
front-loaded.
Tears of the Kingdom did that, and obviously Nintendo did not adjust their sales target, which is 5 million less than last year. So they don't expect this holiday to be as big as last holiday.
But they're doing everything they can besides,
besides cutting the price that would actually increase sales. They haven't. They're just keeping it at the price and throwing a bundle of all the games people already own.
That's true, right? It's free,
but they're also low. They're low budget bundles, which I think that's another sign that Switch 2 is close.
So is this Nintendo's way of price reduction? Just adding a game that you already have?
Yeah, I mean it's a better value.
I mean, it's a low risk point for them because what do they care? Like Smash isn't really selling that much anymore. So what do they care about bundling it in?
Yeah.
Didn't it sell 500,000 this past quarter?
They didn't. Well, it only got updated because it's in the top 10. Otherwise, they usually don't update unless it sells $1 million in a quarter. But yeah, it did get updated.
Actually, no. It's here. I'm looking it up. They sold 600, almost 700,000 since June between this last quarter.
Yes,
that's
we only know that because it's in the top 10 though. Nintendo on their fiscal quarter reports only update millions when you sell $1 million. That's why Metroid didn't get an update for so long. They only update when you sell $1 million in a quarter. But if you're in the top 10, those sales get updated every quarter.
So you're saying it didn't sell 600,000 this?
No,
last
they
3
did.
months?
No, I'm saying they did. I'm just saying that we only know that because it's in the top 10. If it wasn't in the top 10, we wouldn't have any idea how much it sold.
Okay.
But anyway,
That's why we haven't gotten an update on Xenoblade.
By the way, I'm not saying that it's not selling. It's just not doing what it used to do.
Well, sure, but I mean, compared to most games selling 600,000, or actually rounding up, it's closer to 700,000.
I mean,
the last 3 months
like what
really
Nintendo
good.
does with all their games, with their evergreen status, is beyond any company at this point. I can't explain it. It's like almost every game they drop just keeps selling. They have some magic with this. Beats me. But yeah, I don't know. Like it was really good. Like Nintendo had a really good financial report. They obviously gave us the Zelda movie drop. Tried to shut down Switch 2 so they can increase their holiday sales. And things are just looking up. Like Nintendo's in a really fortuitous place. I just hope Nintendo's always gotten really, really high and then fallen off. I'm just really hoping there's not a fall off coming up here. Like I think the transition to Switch 2 is like vital at the moment. They can't screw it up.
I agree.
We're done for.
We're done for. It's happening.
It's over if they mess this up.
I mean,
Nintendo's doomed. They're going out of business.
They're gonna have to sell to Microsoft.
nah, I'll never.
I honestly don't think it's really plausible for Nintendo to screw it up.
At this point, with
Don't say it. You'll jinx it.
Like how well everything is going, they'd almost have to try to screw it up.
Yeah.
So I mean,
you're right.
just hear me out for a second. I think the reason why they would have to do something crazy, but beforehand they were spreading themselves thin by focusing on 2 different platforms. Now that it's one platform, I just don't see them failing. There's too many Nintendo fans. During the 3DS Wii era, most of the Nintendo fans just got a 3DS, and 3DS did well, even though they butchered that launch. and the Wii was complete like that. That was like one of their worst times, and the 3DS still did well despite that. So with everything kind of focused, I feel like their minimum is what the 3DS did, which is still approaching 80 million systems sold. Like that's like a worst case scenario in my opinion, which is still really good. So I'm not really worried.
Interesting.
Anything can happen.
You
So-
think they could find a way to sell less with nothing else out there?
I'm just saying is if they
Never happened before.
hopefully they don't try to go too outside the like, you know how Taco Bell says don't think outside the bun. You know, stay in the form factor they have now, dockable, you know, and handheld mode, more power, better resolution on screen. As long as they do that, I think fans will be happy.
Cool. So our last section of the podcast is always our little Q&A section. If you guys want to get any questions in, ask anyone on the panel, ask all of us, individuals, doesn't matter. Just $2 and up super chats on YouTube. We already have some queued up here. Jorge FT did this a while back. Yeah, he wants to go to the idea of an animated Zelda movie and says, do you think Studio Ghibli is a fit as a studio to handle a Zelda movie at this time? And would Miyazaki even work with Miyamoto? And how is he as a director? So I would assume this would be on a hypothetical, like if they did an animated movie in the future.
I would love to see it.
I think they would be honored to work together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know either of them. So
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's a little presumptuous of me to say that, but I think they both. I bet they likely appreciate what each other are, but it doesn't mean that what their aspirations are line up.
Because we know they took a lot of inspiration from Princess Mononoke, which is a Studio Ghibli film, for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So like, I think a Ghibli film would be cool.
They also might be sour about that.
But I also think there's a lot of other studios that could also do it better. It just depends on the direction they want to go.
I think fans have just been dreaming of a Studio Ghibli Zelda movie for like decades. And I just don't think it's ever going to happen.
I would love to see a Studio Ghibli art form game of a Zelda game.
Okay. Next question. This goes on to the Zelda remake stuff. What other Zelda remakes do you think have potential other than Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess?
Zelda 2.
A Link Between Worlds, please. Maybe not a remake, maybe just a port would be nice, because that's a great game.
If that had like a good, that could be remastered to look pretty much like a modern game. They could look pretty much like Link's Awakening if they like upscaled it.
Yeah, I would say Link to the Past, like
Textures.
Link's Awakening.
How about? No, probably. I was gonna
Wand of Gamelon.
We're missing the clear option. Link's crossbow training. Bring it
Oh.
back.
That's a
the Minish
Classic.
Cap.
Minish Cap.
Love
Minish Cap in a Studio Ghibli like style. How about that?
Oh, here we go. Like I kept thinking, like if you think of the 3D Zeldas, like obviously you can jump to like Wind Waker, but Wind Waker is already so timeless the way it is. Does it really need a from the ground remake?
No.
It just needs to be take what it is, put it in 60 FPS and 4K, and you're probably good. I mean, if you want to redo some lighting and ray tracing or something crazy, and sure, but like that would still just be like a remastering of what's already there. Which probably I would totally want them to do. Look,
Remaster.
Make me Wind Waker HD here. Give me Wind Waker 4K, you know, with all those bells and whistles. Like, yeah, sure, that'd be sweet. I'd be all over that. But otherwise, like the reason people go to Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess is the art style. It's totally art style. It's not timeless. It doesn't hold up well over time. And they're due. Ocarina of Time is obviously more due in some cases than Twilight Princess, but
I think it's due in all cases. So you could argue that it already got a remaster in the 3DS version, but that 3DS version is already really old. This game came out in 2011.
12 years old, 13 years old? No.
based
All
on
right,
well,
it's like a game, it's like 2 games old.
Yeah, well, think about this. Ocarina of Time came out in 1998. Ocarina of Time 3D came out in, I believe, 2011, which is about, 13 years? Okay, where are we now? It is now 2023. And if there's going to be a new one coming out, it won't be until next year, which is what? Another 13 years.
Here we go.
This is another conspiracy theory.
No conspiracy theory.
I'm not.
Half-Life 3,
No, I'm not saying that it's going to
Follow
happen
the
every 13 years.
pattern.
I'm simply stating that
number 13
it's been-
next year for Zelda, Ocarina of
I'm
Time,
just-
Half-Life.
it's just been so long since the remaster that they could, you know what I mean? Like the amount of time between the original and the remaster is we've already waited that long already. So, you know, also it is a 25th anniversary for Ocarina of Time this month, but I don't think that means anything
No, Nintendo doesn't care
we're
about
looking at this
anniversaries.
all wrong.
unless
Look,
it makes the money.
next year is 2024. You take 24 minus 20 for Sword Adventures remake.
There you go. There you go. That makes sense.
Figured it out.
Wow, that was some crazy quantum
Well,
whatevers.
I mean, what if they did the oracles in the Link's Awakening type
I
thing?
like-
The
Go back.
Oracles,
Yeah, I would love that.
They did oracles seasons. And
Yeah, man. Those
Yeah.
games are sick. I love those to come back.
Yeah,
Grezzo,
almost-
maybe. Get that on get Grezzo going on those right
Well,
now.
I feel like we could almost guarantee that Grezzo's making a Zelda game right now.
I know. I hope they're making an original top down. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
What was the
I
last
think
game
it's
they
about
did?
time.
Link's the last one.
Last
for
game,
Awakening.
Yeah.
Last game was
just they made this mobile game. I have it on my phone. It came out earlier.
Well, I
this
mean, like
year.
last Zelda thing they've done, because don't they have like
Link's
a dedicated
Awakening.
Zelda theme?
that was Link's Awakening.
So 2019. So what have they been doing for 4 years?
Well, they've been
they
making. games.
made
more than just Zelda.
Miitopia,
They
the
work
remastered
on something.
Miitopia,
Oh, that's right.
and they just made Jet Dragon for mobile, but that's a small thing, small project.
So 2 years since they've done a Switch game. So what have they been doing for 2 years?
Making that Ocarina of Time remake.
Maybe they're working on Tomodachi Life for Switch. Please.
Boomerang
that-
just wanted to let us know he's excited about the movie and he loves the discussion tonight. Thank you, bud.
they could be doing another Luigi's Mansion too.
Mm.
I think they did work on the first one. So
Did
Oh.
Grezzo work on the first
Yeah.
one?
LM4.
I wonder if they're ever going to
Yeah.
port the first Luigi's Mansion to Switch, because then all 3 games would be on Switch.
I think they will. I
Yeah.
think it might be like just like an
Fuck
upscale of the GameCube version, right? Like kind of like they would pick for Pikmin 1 and 2. But I have a hard time seeing them having 2 and 3 and not 1 in some way. I agree with you.
Cross-gen.
Maybe when they bring
Cross-gen
GameCube to
release
NSO.
25.
No,
Um,
I don't think so.
then
They can
for
make too
some
much
reason-
money off remasters and remakes.
people want me to be Tingle. Look, I have the spirit of Tingle. I have the bod in some ways of Tingle. I just don't think I'd be willing to put on the tights. They could pay me millions. I just don't think I could do that on screen.
I'm sorry. If it's not Nate in the movie, I'm not going to see it. Like, I'll skip. I'm not afraid to skip.
You know, it'd be interesting
Now I'm
if
just
we
feeling
saw
guilty.
if
Now
we
I'm
got to see
okay.
Tingle's father, who just doesn't like him, who judges him so negatively.
He
for his
really is the
choices in
Jar Jar
life.
Binks of Zelda.
Is,
Yes, what I'm saying, bro.
are you reliving something now, Andre?
No, Tingle's backstory is his father is not proud of him for being a ferryman.
Well, are you a ferryman?
What,
No,
what-
not me.
what is happening right
I don't
now?
know.
Oh my
I
god!
don't know, man.
Keep it clean.
I'm just picking on Andre.
God,
What else is new?
I invite Mike Odyssey
Just-
on, and he gets crazy.
It's a punching bag. Yeah, they're all like my Tingle father.
What? Wait,
what?
Whoa! I'm a literal father. Let's back the
Single
truck up
father.
a bit. I got some questions I need to ask of other women or what they did with my seed, if that's a thing. Holy moly, what is going on? All right. Well, with that being said, that's gonna do it for the Nintendo Prime Podcast, episode 45. We'll be back again next week. I'm trying to look at who our guests are next week. I think we got a full cast. So we don't know with Eric. Eric might be iffy next week. We'll see. But we do have Sumbro Nation and West Nemo coming on next week. Unless they cancel on me too and things get nuts and I'm sitting here around begging all my friends, please fill in. I don't have anyone. And then, I don't know, we have Nintendo Land, who was supposed to be on this week, is coming on the 29th episode. And then, I don't know, there's somebody else coming on the 22nd episode. I got future guests planned out for a bit, but I can't see it. My monitor's in the way. So my big arse monitor's in the way. So anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. You can go ahead and catch this podcast anywhere podcasts are heard. We'll go around the little room quick. You guys can say what you got going on and where they can find you quick. Let's start with Nick with no K, who just keeps talking about that. I'm so busy editing.
Okay. I am really busy editing, but editing for the Nerdiest Podcast, which is my movie, TV show podcast. And actually, we're going to do a full episode talking about the Zelda movie because it's such a big deal to me. I literally put together our show notes today. So that episode is coming out in the near future. So you can go listen to that. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all the places. Nerdiest Podcast. You can follow me personally.
Google, because it doesn't exist anymore.
No, unfortunately, they got rid of Google. It's okay. We weren't getting many listeners there anyway. But if you are a big Zelda person, we did do an episode talking about all about Tears of the Kingdom, and Andres was there. So
Nice.
It's true.
you can go listen to that episode too while you wait for our Zelda movie episode. So
there you go. We have 2 Nintendo Primes because I totally forgot to change your name.
Yeah, you did.
Mr. Nintendo Prime. You know what?
Yeah,
You're the
right.
bastard coming in from the private island, aren't
I
you?
am.
Fucking up my stream.
I am.
God damn it. All right. Where can they find you, Nintendo Prime?
Here. That's pretty much it.
Did anyone even notice in the chat that there was 2 Nintendo Primes?
I noticed straight
Anyone
away.
I
say-
did.
Why didn't you punch me in the arm and say, hey,
I don't know.
it's literally like 2 seconds to fix it.
I know. I
I
thought it was funny.
thought it was funny. Mike Odyssey, what do you got going on? Where can they find you?
I gotta back up what Nick said. I was looking at some podcast episodes, really good content. I really liked it a lot. Really fun topics. So I like your podcast, including the short video you guys made one time about dancing in the stage. It was just hilarious. I thought so. Yeah, go watch them. It's awesome. I've got Monday through Friday news. You know, mine is like a it's like a same version of Nintendo Prime. Same thing. You know, I got the Nintendo Prime pre podcast before this one on Wednesdays. Monday to Friday news, Nintendo news, and also have a new series calling. Let me show it. I got a new series coming up. I'm gonna go Nintendo treasure hunting pretty soon, and also Nintendo treasures from Etsy. I just got sent. I'll show you a little bit of what's coming, and then the rest is in the video. But take a look at this.
Beautiful.
Nice.
This is
Yeah.
made out of 100% wood. Smells like wood. I don't know what's out of wood because I'm not good at woods, but
It's probably wood burning.
yeah. And then
Oh, it's got back to back. Nice.
That's
Very
very cool.
Cool. Yeah, that's
Alright.
got the little 3D effect on it.
yeah, I have a couple of artists who sent me things for the show. It's called Nintendo Treasures from Etsy. And I'm gonna do a little fun stuff on the side on weekends. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And also have the annual Christmas super extravaganza. Hopefully, I can get it over and make an appearance. I'm calling you out, Nate, on live TV. So yeah,
Depends on the. I got so much going on during the holidays.
you might be giving away one of these things here too. So, and yeah,
Actually, from our angle, it's Tees Aqua.
On the seat.
on this,
No, but
Oh,
it's weird, weird over here. So.
it's upside down. There we go.
There we go. See, I was like Tees Aqua.
Yeah, so we got games, give games, Nintendo Switch, and chairs to give away for this Christmas holiday extravaganza. Mega theme. And hopefully we'll have tournament.
Oh yeah. And Andres, what you got going on over there? I mean, I see you're holding Switch 2 right now, so this is dangerous territory.
Yeah, the Switch 2 Joy-Cons. So
Noise.
this may be promoted in the not so distant future on the channel, but
That's nice.
Those little hoary pads.
if I told you what it was, I might get in trouble.
Is it unreleased product? You threw your shoulder on camera then. What the hell?
I don't think it's out.
A sponsored product?
I'm kidding. It's out.
Anyway,
It's available.
sorry.
It's public. It's public in
Publix?
2025.
Switch 2, baby. Let's go. Anyways.
Yeah. No, just we'll talk about Nintendo every day.
Andre's got some really, really cool theory videos. A lot of really
There you
cool.
go. Mike
videos.
Odyssey will do all the advertising.
That type of video that you like to sit back, have a snack, and watch and listen. You know, he has a really cool laid back, that type of vibe that you like to listen to videos. So yeah, go check him out. He's got very good content.
I'll just say that I haven't given up on Ocarina of Time remake yet. So
And then Nintendo Prime. Nintendo Prime has really good Monday through Friday news. I love his brand new set. It looks cool. I think you're using a new camera too, right? Because you can. I
don't have a new camera. No.
But I mean, it looks crisp. Looks very crisp. I like the background, nice and everything.
I've been working on actually learning how to use camera settings. Yeah,
I like your attitudes now on your news and your catchphrases. Pretty good. You can't miss Nintendo Prime. Entertaining, fun news.
Don't forget to ring-a-ling that ding-a-ling on this
exactly.
podcast
Ring-a-ling that
episode.
ding-a-ling. Ring-a-ling. wait,
I love the ding-a-ling.
Ring-a-ling. Don't point like this.
Ring-a-ling. I just keep losing subscribers, so I guess I gotta bring it back.
It's because you point down, so people like you can't ring-a-ling that ding-a-ling.
Yeah,
ring-a-ling that ding-a-ling.
You can ring-a-ling that ding-a-ling.
Like ring that ding-a-ling, not that ding-a-ling.
Nah, dude, just ring whatever. Just ring something. Wow, dinner time. Get the bell going. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 45. We're gonna pop that outro, and we'll catch you guys next week.